Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, here on Voice of the Rings. And today, my friends, I'm going to completely review and check out the cosmetics and what does the new Kindoms of Harad expansion give you. I have the Ultimate Collector's Edition, but I will explain all the different levels and what they give you. They did something pretty cool this time. I don't remember if they did in the last expansion, but if you just buy the flat version of the expansion, which is like, I think just $40 flat, US, you get a 150 Valor boost. Let me just throw it out right off the bat. I would always warn any newer players to be careful not to use that immediately. You need to know what that does, and you may want to enjoy leveling one character before using a Valor boost. But I do think it's really neat that they added that, especially for those people who maybe like really want to have one character to play with higher level people in their group and level with the new expansion, 150 to 160. And also have another character they're leveling up normal, right? It's kind of just a nice little addition they did. So anyway, welcome everyone, welcome. And let's go ahead and start with talking about what's in the new Kindoms of Harad expansion. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open everything in this video. We're going to cover all the cosmetics like I do with the other videos. So this is on the wardrobe playlist here on Voice of the Rings. And we are going to cover everything in detail. I'll explain some stuff to you. And at the end of the video, I will show you when the end of the video is. I'll have maybe a couple timestamps I'll throw down there for my usuals or those who might not want to be here for the whole thing. But I appreciate you being here nonetheless. I'll have something at the end where I'm going to actually use the Valor boosts on a few of my characters. I have some guides on Valor boosts and leveling up your character instantly and stuff already, but I'll tag on the end of this video just so it's all in one place. So moving on, we have the pre-purchase today. It has been released. One fun little side thing I would like to point out is about 8 months ago, someone asked me, what do you think, Zollin, they'll go with the expansion? And I'm like, probably into Harad more, because that would make sense with the storytelling. And I literally said, and I don't think this is because of me, but I literally said, I think a good name for the expansion would be Kingdoms of Harad, or Kingdom of Harad. And that's the one they used. Now, was it because of me? I don't think so. But I just think that was kind of funny because it's the logical name to pick for this expansion. So basically, in this expansion, you could pre-purchase it right now. There are 3 different prices. So I'm going to just talk about the prices. People always ask me in these videos. These are the US prices. I do not know the European and different money conversions for Canada and for everyone else. I'm sorry, I don't know that. But if you go to this page that I'll link down there, I'm sure you can go to your version of the page and it'll be updated for you. So these are the different prices. These are the same prices they've had on expansions for like 7 years now. Now, how does LOTRO keep the price at this level? I don't know. I think that's quite generous that they still have the regular expansion only being $40 like it's been for so many years. And the super version is $130, which has been for years, for the last like, I don't know, 5-6 years. For the other ones. And you can actually go down and see previous expansions, by the way. You can go through and see previous expansions. But we're going to talk about some of the key features real fast, and then we're going to open stuff up. You can jump with the timestamp. If you want to jump, that's fine. Go for it. But basically what is inside the stuff is going to be the Ultimate versus the Collectors. They give you a little bit of a generic version here. Pretty much it is, what is it giving you? It's giving you the new quest packs is pretty much, and the instances or raids they make in that new region. So that's pretty much you're going to get with the generic standard version. You're going to get Kingdoms of Harad content, which will be, again, instance clusters and raid content. Pretty much these are kind of intertwined, these two things. I know they list them separately, but I'm just gonna let you know they're kind of the same. You will most likely be able to walk into Harad's new area even without the expansion, but you won't be able to pick up quests. You won't be able to do the instances or raids, go on those things like that. You know, the other stuff, the fun, the storytelling, the quests. 150 Valor boost for your account. You shared, so you can send it to any character on your account, and then Trailblazer title, and then just a title. So, you know, the generic stuff. If you don't care about a lot of the extra stuff that's for convenience or cosmetics, you're going to be great with the standard edition, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there right now. But if you're someone that wants to help support the game a little more, you want a little extra content, fun things that will help you in the future, and I will explain what's really important here. I'll show you now. So Collector's Edition will give you, again, it was $80, all right, so it's double the price, and you still get the same content, instant cluster, raid cluster content. The level 150 thing is still there. You get an extra outfit slot account wide. The outfit slot is for your, when you go into character, there's like those little outfit slots in cosmetics. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is, do you get one if you already own them all? We're going to find that out, because I'm pretty sure I already own them all. So what it might do, it says account wide. So I think what happens is you do have to buy them per character. So we'll double check ahead right now and see if how that works with me having all the slots on one character and not the other. So we'll check that. And then you get the Vigilant Sentinel title, which, by the way, if you get the Vigilant Sentinel title from the Collector's Edition, you will also get the Trailblazer title. That's how it works, even though they didn't list it in the list, just so you know. Armor of the Vigilant Sentinel, okay? This set of gear is actually, well, you'll see. You're going to see it in this video. It's pretty cool. You'll see if you want it or not. Camal and WarSteed of the Vigilant Sentinel. So, interesting on this. You can you make the WarSteed into a camel? We're going to check that in this video. And you get the cosmetics for your pet or your mount to ride. You get a Vigilant, again, we'll forget the name. You get a cobra pet. We'll see what it looks. You get a cobra Bauble. All right, we'll see how that looks. And you get an improved Expedition supplies, and we'll find out what that is in this video right now. Okay, so now jumping to the Ultimate Fan Bundle, you get all the same things, but in the Ultimate Fan Bundle, you will also get another level 150 Valar package. Now, what is the difference, you might say? Well, I'm going to show you in this video, all right? But the Valar pack is going to give you some more stuff to help you out when you hit level 150. It'll probably have all the legendary items you need and gear and stuff like that. We'll look at that here in this video, so don't worry about that. But you'll get 2. So you can bring 2 of any character up to 150. Remember, the new expansion is taking us from 150 to 160. The new cap will be 160. So this will help you just bump up a character ready to level into the new Kingdoms of Harad expansion. All right? Again, we already talked about extra character, that one. Now you get the title, Leader of the Pride title. That goes along with the other 2 titles. All right? If you get this one, you'll get the Golden Lion armor set, all right, so keep that in mind. And then, of course, you'll still get the Golden Lion Camal and WarSteed, which is actually a different mount than the Vigilant. So, also, little side note, if you get the Golden Lion armor set and this version of the Camal, you also get the Vigilant Sentinel and this Vigilant. You get both. They both go into the Ultimate. You get everything, okay? Just so you know, it moves up. You get a baby Camal Pet. That's cool. You get a golden passage milestone, so we'll see what that means. It's a new milestone animation when you back with your little maps. New special animation. We'll see what that is. The Golden Lion Weapons Aura. What's in the basket, Bauble? That's a cool one. I will warn some people, just in case. We'll see what the aura looks like. You get another Ultimate supplies, which, by the way, you also get the improved supplies if you buy the Ultimate one. So we get 2 of those. We'll see what's in both. You get an extra 10 shared bank storage slots. I'm curious how this is applied and if this works if you already have the cap. So we'll see that in a minute. Housing teleport item. This is always cool. I will stick mine in our kinship house, so you guys can use it. Basically, it'll help you teleport to the newest main city just from our kinship house or your personal house if you want your personal house. A monster play appearance for fun. I'll jump over and check out the monster play appearance on 1 or 2 of the monsters. It does change. The Golden Lion Earring XP boost through 150. Now, this is where they're important, okay? This is where I tell people, if you really want convenience in the future to help level up other characters, and maybe you're someone who plays more than one character, this is what's nice, okay? Because then when you're leveling up a character in the future, you will have this earring. Now, this will replace one of the 2 other earrings from the previous expansions, but it's up to 150. So you'll have that bonus no matter what until you hit to 150 with extra XP. I believe it's 25%, but we'll check. And more. And we'll check out what and more means here in the rest of the video here right now. We got a couple cool little pictures here. And again, you can see here some of the Sentinel gear. You probably saw this on the front thing I did, but this is some of the new areas you're going to get in this expansion. If you want to pre-order it ahead, this is what they're going to look like, the areas. I really think this set of armor looks really cool, but again, we'll look at it up close here in a minute. A couple crazy looking monsters. And then, yeah, you can go through here and you can really break down the details. It looks like the Valor level boost package does, in fact, give you virtue experience. This is very, very good. So if you want to get the 130 Ultimate Fan Bundle, you will get the virtue experience, which is a very, very hard thing to get normally. But again, we're going to look at it all right now. So let's go ahead and close that, get it out of our way, and start opening things. So if you bought the pre-order expansion, first things first, you need to put the coin, the code in. If it gave you a code, now you will usually go on the LOTRO store and you will enter that code. If you got it that way, sometimes it'll just automatically be hooked to your account if you bought it through their main store. And all you will do is you will close the your account, log out and log back in, and it should be updated. And whichever character you log into first is going to have the main stuff, like the Valar boosts. You will see both the ultimate. Let me bring this closer. Sorry, let's bring the tooltip like right here so we can kind of see it there. If this particular one, the Kingdoms of Harad Ultimate Fan Bundle and bonus items will be on every character you log on into on that account, and the Kingdoms of Harad Collector's Edition, again, both the two versions, will be on both your accounts, okay? If you bought the regular edition, the $40, you will not see either of these. You will just have, the only thing you will have is this. You will have a level 150 package boost. Now remember, this will pop up only on the character you first log into when you buy it or you put the code on. Okay, so keep in mind, if you're like, where's my Valor boost? Go to the main character you first logged into after you got the expansion. It should be there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these aside temporarily. I'm not going to be using that one. This is the Valor boost one. We will use these on different characters. I want to open them on the characters I want to use them on. So we're going to put those to the side. So the very first thing we're going to look at right now in this part, so on the timestamps here, is we're going to look at the improved Expedition supplies. So this is from the Collector's Edition one. All right, so this is where if you bought the regular $40 one, you're not going to get any of these 4 boxes. You're only going to get not the Valor, but you're going to get only the 150 level up package. That's all you'll have. Everything else you get from the one will just be automatically hooked to your account. You'll have the content for the raids and the quests and be able to walk in and start leveling immediately with a new expansion. Okay, so that's the regular one. If you get the Collector's Edition, you're going to get the improved supplies, and then the ultimate supplies are with the Ultimate Edition. So it's going to be like that. Okay, so we're going to start with doing the supplies for the Collector's Edition. Let's open that up. Let's see what they give us. All right, so what they give us is they give us 5 tomes of XP acceleration for 1 hour, 100% XP. Cool. Help you level faster if you want a power level in the new. I'm going to enjoy the new expansion, but I will probably, after the 3rd or 4th character, want to power level my other alts. So great. So that's cool. They gave us that. Reputation accelerator, 5,000. So that's 25,000 reputation acceleration. That's pretty good. It's not a ton of reputation acceleration, but that will help your one character. And remember, this is only going to be, these are shared, so you can put them to whatever character in your account, but it's only going to be 25,000. It's not going to be 25,000 per character on your account. All right, so just keep that in mind for these particular ones. All right. The Virtue Acceleration Tome. So again, accelerate your earning virtue, so you get an extra 2,000 on top of the 25,000. It's fine. It's not, or excuse me, this is virtues. This is a reputation. So this is kind of useless one. All right, 2,000 is not a lot of virtue experience. It's like one deed, one good deed. All right, it's helpful. It's there, but realistically, when you get to your caps on your virtues, 2,000 isn't going to make a huge difference. So just throwing that out there. Rare crafting components. We can right click this to open it. This gives us rare crafting components. Now, my question is, when the expansion comes out, will this automatically update with the newest 5, whatever it is, gem for the new crafting tier? Because there will be a new crafting tier. So what I would recommend for all of you, since this is a pre-order review, is I would wait to open this. This might update automatically. If it doesn't, then grab the Red Sea Stones later. But, or whatever you want, you know, if you want another one. But obviously Red Sea Stones are the ones you're probably going to want to use. Maybe you want to go back and grab one that's more rare, like the Sunstone shards, to help craft something. Okay? So anyway, now we know what those are. I'm going to put those to the side. All right, we're going to move on here to the next stuff. And I hope the music is not too loud, but I want a little bit of background music when I do these videos. Otherwise, it feels kind of weird to me just talking blankly with no sound in the background. All right, so now if you bought the Ultimate Edition, then every character in your account would get the Ultimate Collectors of Harad, but we're going to wait to open that. We're going to jump to you bought the Ultimate Fan Bundle. Let's see what's in the Ultimate Expedition supplies. Okay, so we're going to open that. It opens with 2 things. So one of them is the Kingdom of Harad Ultimate Virtue XP supplies. All right, so this actually says it contains 6 lesser accelerators of virtue XP, 10. You can always read what it always says it in the tooltip most of the time. Minor ones of acceleration and 25k virtue for purchasing the ultimate fan bundle. Now this one is not going to scale with the new cap or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and just open it. So you can see they're all bound to account, so don't freak out to open it on this character. You can. They're bound to account. And this is actually pretty good. So this is 2,500 virtue experience plus. So now we're talking, this is a pretty good chunk of virtue experience, right? You got 6 times 2,500. Was that, is that 15,000, right? 15,000 experience. And then you also have another 7 or 10. So it's like 25,000 virtue experience. Now that's better. That is better. That's a good chunk of virtue experience. Those are going to go in my shared storage. When the new expansion comes out, the virtues will most likely get bumped up. Right now, their cap is 96 at the time of this video I'm making for you pre-order. It'll probably bump to like 100. We'll see, maybe a little higher. They don't work the same way as the levels in the game of your character, okay? So I'll be saving it for those. They will cost quite a lot at this point. You could use it on an alt, but I would wait and hold on to them until the expansion actually comes out. Or if you're watching this during the expansion, this video will still be just as helpful for people who buy it later. I don't think the pre-order actually gives any benefit to, like, I think you'll get the same exact things if you buy this when the expansion's already out. Just throwing that out there for those who are watching to learn. Also, Kindoms of Harad large collector carry-all. Now, they do this almost every single time. This is actually quite a lot. These carry-alls cost about 2,000 LOTRO points, which is a good chunk of money. We're talking like 15, 20 bucks, right, US? So this is a nice little thing that they throw in every single time. I think these are great. They're all large. You always want to get large carry-alls. Don't waste your time getting the little small one or medium ones. Just get the large ones if you can, because it just, you know, it's 10, 25, or 50 item slots. The large ones are just so much better in the price differencing. But anyway, I have a video, which I'll link down there if you need it, on what's the best carry-alls to do in what order. I have a lot of carry-alls, so I'm actually probably going to pick something that's kind of unusual with this one. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to probably end up picking, I think, another tracery carry-all large. I think that's what I'm going to pick, because I have a lot of characters, and I might wait till after the expansion comes out, because I might not need to have it after the expansion, depending on stuff. But good ones for you guys to have. You're a brand new player, and you really don't want a lot of stuff junking up your inventory all the time. You want to. It's the crafting carry-all is like number 1. You really want to keep crafting items, and that will just be able to kind of eat and absorb crafting items for you. So large crafting carry-all is like a must. Like, that's the best one, I would advise. Again, go watch my guide video on full details if you'd like. I'll link it down there. But I hate to send you to a video if I could just tell you the basics. So again, large crafting and the task carry-all is very handy. The large task carry-all. Those are the best 2. The ones to follow up that are also excellent would be the large Essence and Tracer carry-all, followed along with the healer. If you do a lot of raiding, the large healer one can be pretty nice. Or one that can compete with the healer one if you want to kind of like save room in your inventory is the large junk carry-all. But again, you just sell junk, but that can like clutter your inventory very quickly when you're questing. So sometimes it's kind of nice to let it fill up the bag and then just take it out of the bag and sell it, right? But it's a preference between the players. You guys decide what you want to do. War spoils, if you PvP a lot, that's a good one, but people aren't really going to pick that normally. Dye carry-all, unless you like really like doing clothes and cosmetics, or you sell dyes as a crafter, that one's not really worth it for you otherwise. Don't waste your time on that one. Large housing carry-all, this is a very good one. I would say this one's up there. If you do a lot of housing stuff, you like to do cosmetics, you like to collect cosmetics to your house, again, it's kind of situational. For me, I have like 3 of them because I do our kinship house. I have a bunch of personal houses. I really get into that. If you do, you might like that. If you don't waste your time, okay? Instrument carry-all. This is really, again, only situational. Do you play a lot of the instrument system and use all the instruments? There's really no point why you need a large instrument carry-all because there's only like 14 instruments. You don't need 50. So kind of a wasted one. I would be very careful with that. Map carry-all. It's kind of the same boat as the instruments. It's helpful. I picked a small one to put away some of the map ones you get every single time from like the monthly to kind of keep them. Sorry, from the events, but it's not really worth it. Okay, so those are not worth it. So again, crafting carry-all, task carry-all, big thumbs up. Those are good ones. And then situational, if you have a lot of characters, the essence one would be nice. If you do a lot of raiding, the healing one would be nice. If you do a lot of music playing, music-ish, depends. Some musician players might go, no, it's not worth it still. But the housing carry-all would be worth it if you do housing a lot. And the junk carry-all might be a good one just to help keep your inventory not cluttered. Task items and junk items really clutter your inventory quickly. And crafting items. But crafting items you want to keep, so... I think crafting is number one pick on that, if you want my advice on that. So anyway, moving on, I basically just covered that video. You can go watch that guide video in more detail. I do explain a little bit more, but I basically just covered it for you. Great, Zollin. Good job. Great to advertise your other videos. Okay, moving on. So let's go ahead and this one is the selection box. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but now you know all about it. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Kindoms of Harad Collector's Editions and bonus items. So let's go ahead and right-click that and open that. So we get a couple different boxes here. Let's move this out of the way for a minute. We get the Vigilant, Sentinel, Wardrobe Cosmetics. Now, here's the trick on every character. Since you open this on every character, you can always open the first box and then just learn the camel mount, the other two things, and then just hold the gear. If you don't want to clutter your inventory, just hold the box, put it in your shared storage. But we're going to open it, but just so you know. So we got the Camel Vigilant Sentinel. I'm going to learn that. We have the Vigilant Cobra, and we have the Vigilant Cobra Bauble. So let's go ahead and check out some of our collection things real quick here. We just seen. All right. And again, I do try to record these in very high definition so you get the best visuals possible. It's the whole point of this playlist on my channel, my reviewing. All right. So let's do the camel. All right. Here is the camel. All right, this is the Vigilant Camel, which has some new sound effects. It has new animations. It has a new run style and sound effects. So, pretty cool. This is something, by the way, people asked me a few months back again, and this I'm half bragging, half making you guys laugh. People were asking me what mount would be cool for the deserts, and I'm like, a camel. And it would make a lot of sense. Because Tolkien definitely put some real animals throughout his storytelling, so having camels would make complete sense in Middle-earth, right? So anyway, very cool. I do feel like I have one critique, okay? It's a little small, even for me as a dwarf. I feel like the camel's a little tiny. Now, this might be because they were worried to make the model too large, but as you guys all know, one of my favorite ones from one of the supporter packs is the Homestead Steed from the Homestead supporter pack. It's very large, and it's a Clydesdale, so it should be. It's a huge horse, right? And I just love this one. I think they should release the supporter pack again for everybody else, personally. I'd like so people could see it. But I do like the camel. I think it looks really, really good. The animations are really, really excellent. And again, you guys know me, I'm glass half full kind of guy here on this channel, but I do like to be very honest with my reviews on things. So, I think the textures are fantastic on the camel. I like that they have the jewelry is almost has a 3D effect, not quite, but almost that hangs on the neck. And then the feathers look good, and his little eye there, and that's little camel mouth. And everyone knows if you got this close to a camel in real life, he'd probably spit in your face, because camels are not always very nice. And then he's got his little camo tail, and then we have some scrolls here on the back, which are pretty cool. They got a little insignia seal there. I can't quite make it out. It's too tiny, even zoomed in. But, I mean, I like it. It's pretty cool. So we'll look at the camel again, maybe with the gear on in a second. Let's look at the Bauble and the snake real quick. All right, so we jump to the Baubles. Let's see what we have here. So this is the Vigilant Bauble. All right, so this one is purely a... All right, so look away if you're scared of snakes, guys. There are some snakes in this one. But wow, that's cool. So what baubles are, for those who don't know, sometimes bauble can be interacted with. Sometimes baubles are just an item you set on the ground. It's kind of a newer thing. Baubles also are considered, like, some of them are skins you can, like, transform. I can, like, turn into, like, Tom Bombadil if I wanted to, right? Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where's Some of these you have to like buy. I haven't got these all from, I've collected them over time. But baubles are these different things you can interact with. All right. So like, see, now I'm Tom Bombadil. I'm a merry fellow. Oh, Tom, jolly Tom. Tom Bombadillo. But yeah, anyway, there's that old song from like the 80s that they did. Do Tom, dolly Tom, dolly dolly dollar. It's stuck in my head now. All right, let's look at the pet. So again, Bauble, very cool. Cobra. So here's the Vigilant snake as a pet. It's pretty much the same thing, just smaller, and it makes sounds and moves around. Come with me, little snake. Oh, that's cool. That is a cool looking pet. The textures and the reflections, I like that he's just like gold. He doesn't really look like a, he looks more like he's a snake statue that's been animated, like a gold, like by like evil sorcery or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's scary. I'm just thinking of the story in the Bible with the bad guys that put their staff down, turns into a snake, and then Noah eats their. Okay, all right, you guys all probably remember that. I'm sorry. All right, thinking about a biblical story in the Bible. But yeah, anyway, it's really, really cool. Super cool. So there is the pet snake. I really like it. The pet snake is awesome. That's really, really legitly cool. And he's got different effects. There's one of them. Let's see what else he does. All right, show us some of your other not moving effects. They have effects that they do when you're not moving pets. So we have one. He looks back and forth. What else does he do? Give us some more, Mr. Scary Snake. No? Are we done? Okay, well. Keep an eye on him while I look at the next thing. All right, so we will bring up the Cosmeic Gear. So let's go ahead and open up the gear. Now, I will jump onto the other races and give you guys the Cosmeic Gear on the other races, which takes me a lot of time. So if you're... Oh, there he did something else. He did a little spin. If you are enjoying yourself in this video and this is helpful to you in any way, if you throw a like and subscribe on there, I would be greatly appreciative. Thank you very much for your support. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and go into our cosmetics. So I have 8 cosmetic slots on this character. Okay, my gut feeling is I did not get another one. So what I am thinking is, I'm just going to go back and read to make sure it didn't say anything when I opened up my box. Does not look like it did. Yeah, it doesn't look like it did. Okay, so the cosmetic thing. So if you already have a cosmetic slot, it's at account wide, then my gut feelings is how it works. You already have max cosmetic slots on a character, they do not get a 9th one. If you have a character who did not have all 8 slots, you should see another slot. Okay? I think that's how that's going to work. All right, so we'll just keep that out there. So, but now I need a spot to be able to drop my cosmetic stuff. I think we're going to use, that's my pirate look. Oh gosh, I'm running out of slots. I'm going to have to use my pirate slot. That's all right. We're going to use this one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put these on here real quick. I still have them on my other spots, so. Also, standing stones, while you're at it, guys, can we please be able to buy more wardrobe space and vault space and shared storage? Please. I will give you my money. Please just let us have the option. We've the whole community's been wanting that a long time. I have a gut feeling that Standing Stones is going to do that soon. But it would be really, really nice if we could bump up wardrobe space. And if you look here, I'm actually overcapped because when I moved items from the other server, it just overcapped. It didn't delete them, which is good. But you can't get more than 410 right now at the time of this video, and you can't get more than 360 shared storage. I just really wish they'd just like double that. Just let us be able to get like 8,000. Let us be able to buy 1,000, and we'd have to buy it just like before. It'd be like 600 mithril for every 10 slots. But just let us do it, because we'll buy it. We'll do it. All right. Anyway, sorry that was a tangent. Moving on. So here is the cosmetic sentinel on the dwarf. All right, now I have a shield on that I wouldn't normally have, so let me just go ahead and flip to my battle axe here. All right, there it is. There is the sentinel look. Now I gotta say, this is the sentinel look, by the way, with the hood. It kind of like phases through the helmet. Here's what it is without the hood. All right, there we go. It's like that. So that's just the cape without the hood. So if you were someone who maybe didn't want to use the mask, but you wanted to use a hood still because you like a hood, you could use the hood with it. It could look something like that, right? Now, me personally, I really like the helmet. I think that's what makes this set insanely cool. And I will point out that I think the Ultimate Edition here is my favorite of the sets. I don't know why. I just think this is so Harad. This look, the helmet, it's got like that really scary look to it, and it reminds me of Baldur's Gate, those reanimated armors in Baldur's Gate 3. You guys played that game? You guys know what I'm talking about? The Sentinels, or whatever they're called? Yeah. But anyway, it looks really good. The arms look pretty awesome. Let me get out of the sun, actually. It's too bright. Looks really good on the dwarf. I think it looks really, really nice. The shoes have these cool points to them, like metal points, which is kind of unusual for shoes. They're very interesting looking boots or shoes or whatever you want to call them. I really like the cloth. I think it looks really good. I think the textures on these shoulders is legit. The helmet textures and the shoulder textures on this particular skin are really well made. Now, these shoulders aren't as big as I normally like, but they still look pretty darn cool on the dwarf. The helmet's textures are legit. I think the pinnacle, no joke, being a point to the top of this helmet, the pinnacle of this set is this helmet. This helmet is cool. I can imagine a lot of cool cosmetic uses with this helmet with other sets of armor. People are going to have fun with that, I think. Very, very much like this set. I think it's really, really cool. All right, so moving on. This is probably my favorite. But, oh, by the way, let's look at it with the camel real fast before I finish this part. I try to move quickly through these videos, guys, when I make these review videos. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like I'm just, like, cramming through them as fast as I can. You know, I want you to be able to actually see it, kind of absorb it. You can fast forward, you can pause the video, I know, but you know, there's the set with the camel. Now, one thing I do notice here that's a little weird to me is how there's not really any reins. Just from a roleplay perspective, that's kind of weird. It's not the end of the world. I don't know if it's just glitching for me, but here's what I kind of look like with full set as we run around. It still looks cool. I don't know. Is that just a glitch? Do you have reins? We'll look on my other characters. Maybe that's just a glitch. But on my dwarf or something. Maybe it'll change if I log out. But the camel looks awesome. I just think they really need to have some kind of like rein or thing hooked up here. Now, this is a camel, a 2-hump camel, right? I mean, if I've got or is it a 1-hump and I'm just sitting on top of it with the saddle? Technically, are there camels? If you could answer this in the question, I could Google this probably. But there's some camels that don't have humps. Is there a species that don't? Because I know there's a single hump camel and a 2, right? But anyway, it looks like a single hump to me, camel. But moving on, that is really irrelevant to this conversation. But, you know, that's Zollin for you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing here. The Kingdoms of Harad. So this will be the ultimate bundle. If you open the ultimate bundle, I'm going to get the other gear out of the way, just so we don't get confused on what we're looking at here. And you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at. All right, so we're going to open the Kingdoms of Harad Ultimate Fan Bundle. Now here is where you're going to get your other stuff. You're going to get the camel of the Golden Lion, which we will look at after I put the gear on, okay? And then we will look at the baby Camal Pet. That's where you get that one. And you get what's in the basket.
Precious, what's in the basket?
We'll find out. And then grant the Golden Passage Milestone emote. Cool. Now, again, they've been doing this with both the pre-orders and the supporter packs. They kind of stopped doing movement animations. I thought those were so cool, but I understand that they probably were a lot of work, and I know they've added other things to the packs to kind of make up for removing that. But I really like those move animations. I kind of hope they'll make some more in the future. But the milestones are cool. Here is the Golden Lion earring. Now, for Zollin, when you open it, remember, it comes on every single character, this box you can open. So you'll get the golden lion earring on every single character. It's bound to the character when you open it, but that's okay because every character in your account will have the box. You'll all get the golden lion earring. Again, it says 25% experience. I was correct what I told you at the beginning. Until level 150, once you hit level 151, it'll turn off, basically. Or actually, I think when you hit 150, the XP will turn off. That's how it works. So like if I put it on right now, oh no, it says it's still on there. 25%. Oh. So you get 25% experience gain on monster. Snake sounds pretty cool. 25% experience gain on monster kills, crafting, and quest completion. All right. And then Gift of the Kingdom of Harad 1 and 25% legendary item and combat experience. Now, legendary item experience, your items don't have XP anymore. So I assume when you get legendary item XP and you get the bonus from that, what happens is it puts it into your reward track. That's what I assume. Unless the earring doesn't work at all for that anymore. But I would assume it still does. So it probably puts it into your reward track, and your mounted experience gets some experience to your mount. All right, so, but again, even though the stats do scale, and they actually are not terrible scaling stats, you can see right there, like compared to my extremely good crackling opal earring, the fact that that golden lion earring has a 1200 might, agility, vitality, and will, and crackling opal has 1400 will and 2000. I mean, the stats are not terrible. 7000 crit, 1000 fate for power. I mean, for leveling, this item is insanely good. So, golden, it's good. But, sadly, I'm going to destroy it. Be careful. Don't destroy things. You can only do / reclaim to get some stuff back, or then talk to the devs. But be careful what you destroy. But I'm going to destroy it, because it literally will not help this character at all. I will never wear it. It doesn't do anything for cosmetics. So, but, if you have a character that isn't level 150, all those characters will benefit from having that. All right, Golden Lion Wardrobe Cosmetics. Let's go ahead and open that. All right, this is where you're going to get your cosmetic aura. This is where you're going to get a couple other things. So I'm going to put the auras on these right now. All right. Interesting to me that there are no weapons or shields or anything like that with this particular one. It's just gear. That's just fine if they did that. So let me go ahead and you can watch me switch here as we go. There it is, and back. Okay, so there we are. There is the setup. Let's go ahead and put the... I need the weapon aura to change. It is not changing automatically. You sometimes have to go into your main weapons auras, remove them off your stuff for a second, and then put them back on, and usually that will fix the weapon aura. Okay. So, we should now be seeing the weapon auras. And that looks so... Wait, what? It's just Elven? That's so cool. Okay, so, first things first. Let's just kind of look at the skin for... The gear for a minute here. So this is the lion set on the dwarf. Really cool bronze colors. Again, I still think the sentinel is actually cooler, but I think I prefer the colors on this one, the bronze. The gear, the armor looks cooler. In fact, I almost want to, like... That helmet is really cool. It's even got the little fangs for the lion. That's so cool. I like how both of them, you can't see the eyes. It's just darkness. Very, very bad Haradrim style. Okay, so now I'm actually going to... That is really cool. I need to take off my my items here for a second, just so we can kind of look at the... Wow! That is one of the coolest quiver / capes I've ever seen. They've done this a few times in the past, but I don't think I've ever seen such a cool quiver in the game. It's literally just a lion. Look at it's even well done 3D from this angle. Look at... Wow! You can actually see the space. You can see there's actually the arrows in there. The arrows clearly are a little bit 2D-ish, but the actual quiver is just fantastic. It even looks like a leather pattern sewed together with the bottom. Gosh, man, I want this as a replica in real life. That is so cool. And then you can see it has a little bit of a cape hook to it that hangs off slightly. Very well done textures. Also, I just realized, look at how... Is that... is that Roman style, that gear hanging off, like with like the armored leather pieces hanging. That's really cool looking. The back looks really cool. The legs are just huge. I'm excited to see it on the human, see how it looks on the human. But look at how cool and chunky it looks on the dwarf legs with the kneecaps. That looks so cool. And then you got like a little cover on the foot. The textures even look really, really good on the shoes. The textures on everything else look legit. A little bit lower grade on the chest piece, but it's not bad. The shoulders are, again, really nice textures. It looks like the helmet actually adjusts. It looks like there's some movement that happens between those two pieces slightly. It almost looked like that. Maybe it's just me. Let's look. Not quite. It just gives an illusion of that, I guess. But wow, look at the helm, the hand, the gloves. You could really do some cool switches between other sets to make this look really cool as well. Wow, this is a really cool armor set. Okay. So the set itself, I like this one better. Like the full set. But the other one, I just love the helmet in the other one, the Vigilant. So again, if you want both, you have to get the Ultimate. If you want just the other set, you'll have to get just the Collector's Edition. So very cool. So now what we're going to do is I'd like to look at the Weapons Aura effect a little bit more here. We're going to go into the shade to see it. All right. There's what we got. It's like cool words. You know, I can actually put on my shield, and that will really let us see it. Look at that. That's super cool. So that's Elvish. It looks very similar to... Is it the... I'd like to anyone know the translation? If you know, leave it in the comments. But I might try to figure out in the future and see what the translation is. It almost looks like it's what's on the Ring of Power, but not quite. The Ring of Power is longer phrases. So it'd be funny if it just said lion over and over. Lion pride, pride lion. Like, because one of the titles is the leader of the pack or pride or whatever it is. Be funny if that's all it said. It's just like lion, 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 lions, rawr, roar. All right. Anyway, really, really cool. Snake is pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool cosmetic set. We got to give them that. That's really, really cool. All right. So now what we're going to do is we'll bring up our camel. Look at the other camels. This is the golden camo. Camel. No, we're not going for a BB gun fight. And we're going to check this one out. Okay. So now this camel, I far prefer. It's pretty much the same, except it's all gold. Hence the worst term, gold. It's got really good textures too. I will say I think the textures on this armor are much better. There is reins, but again, I'm not holding the reins. I do like that there's, so it kind of looks like I reached down for the reins. I'm still not holding the reins. I feel like they would have liked it if they had animated just like holding that thing at least. Like the horn, I think it's called of a saddle, right? The horn of the saddle. That would be nice. But look at the animations. And now that we're on this one, I am also going to look at the animations of the walk. How does the camel walk? All right, it's got pretty cute little tail flicks going on right there in the back. It definitely looks very proud of itself with its expression. Classic camel expression. There's some camel animations. When you're holding still and you click spacebar. Now, I'm assuming the sounds are actually a camel's sound. You guys tell me. I haven't heard a camel in a long time. Last time was like National Geographic. Sounds like the sounds a camel would make. I would hope it would be. Look, they're pretty good about using the right sounds, or at least very similar. Definitely, this is the first mount they put a lot of work into. That's not just kind of like a copy-paste with new looks and textures. This is a brand new animations, brand new sounds mount. Now, I gotta say, I love the lion right there on the saddle. Oh, mwah. It's wonderful. It's awesome. The armor back here, it looks really, really cool as well. Looks really cool, the plates going down the back. And I love the neck armor. Gosh, it looks really, really cool. The little armor plates, and also its toes. Look at its toes correctly done with the hoofs. I guess they're hoofs, right? They got like the two little toes on the hoof, like nails. Anyway, pretty cool. Definitely like how it runs. I like how it feels. Now this one does feel this about the same size. I think it'd been fun if it was a little bit bigger, but I think it's a very good mount. I think it's a very good mount. They did a really good job on that. All right, so we'll go ahead and get off the mount. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look at the milestone back and the pet. So first, of course, we need to see the pet. Let's see. So we need the Camal Pet. So here is the baby camel. It's adorable. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's adorable. All right, let's see what it looks like when it follows me. That's it walking. We run. Doing a little baby camel gallop. Sorry, don't want to cover them up for you. I like it. It's cool. It's cool. You do some, let's see if it does some animations when I hold still. Does it do anything? All right, little camel pet, are you going to do anything? Usually they have at least one animation when they're, oh. All right. We'll wait. We'll give it a second, see if it does another one. So there is that, and then we got to, of course, look at the other bauble that we get with the collector's edition here, which is the What's in the Basket. There's another one. Sweet. Very cool. Now, What's in the Basket is a very, very cool one, but I will warn anyone who... Actually, you know what? I already warned you about snakes. That's all I'm going to say. This is really cool. Are you guys ready for this? I absolutely love this. So when you click on the basket to interact with it, anybody, doesn't have to be just you, it could be anybody walking by. I had a guy do it the other day. This is what happens. So the snake comes out of the basket, appears, the red snake, and you start doing this like weird snake dance with him, like try to keep him calm. You know, like the whole like the hypnotizing of the snakes like they do, right? Very cool. Obviously, I guess that the Harad would do this. They have a lot of snake imagery on their stuff in the story that Tolkien told us. So it kind of would make sense that they might do something like this, like true locations in the Middle East in our world does. So I think that's the idea behind it, but I love this. I think this is fantastic. I think it's hilarious how my character is moving. Also, what am my character's face when he's doing this? I'm curious what he's doing with his face. Yeah, he's like, whoa, don't bite me. Don't bite me, Mr. Snake. It's so fun. And again, I had a low-level guy running by me, and I put this down on my other character the other day, and I didn't know what it did yet. And he walked to the basket and clicked it, and it came out. He started doing this. Everybody was laughing so hard. He's like, what the heck? So anyway, that's a bauble. Baubles you interact with, right? One of the previous ones gave you a tea set. The previous before that gave you like a little smoking pipes thing. This one is a snake that you dance with. And anyone who clicks on it will start dancing around it. So in theory, there could be like 10 of you all doing this in little kumbaya. All right. Anyway, I really like that a lot. That is probably one of the coolest baubles, especially because anyone can interact with them. That's what makes the baubles really fun. It doesn't have to be just people in your group or raid or something. All right. So with that, we've covered everything but the milestone animation, and then we need to see the stuff on the other characters, and then we're going to look at the 150 Valor boost stuff. All right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go into the milestone collection. Milestone again. I try to do these as quick as I can, guys. I do my best. So usually just type up mile, and they'll all come up. And what we want to look at is the milestone golden passage. So click it, and you're going to see it. Now, you can always type /milestone_ golden passage. And to go back to regular movement, if you don't want to go through here and click on milestone /default, what you could do is you could do /milestone_ default. Hit enter, and it should change it. So now what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to remove baby camel. So he's not a distraction for a minute here because he's adorable, but... Oh, he's got some cool sounds. There we go. And we're going to use a back animation and see what it looks like when we use it. So we'll do this. What? Now, is there any sound effects? I don't think there's any sound effects on it. Sometimes they do sound effects. Let's just make sure. All right. Ambiance. We're going to turn everything all the way. Okay. We're going to turn the music down. No music. Ambience ups all the way. Let's see. Let's try it again now. All right, so no sound effects. That is so cool. That is such a cool milestone animation. What? I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen that yet. That is the first time I've ever seen it. That is so cool. So now, I'm trying to think from a lore perspective. Not super, like, there's not a lot of people that would do something, like, could do something like that, right? Like, the words come out. But that is so cool. I don't even care. Like, you gotta still have fun with the game, and the devs, they're really good about doing that. Like, still having fun with things, but still being respectful of the lore. That is so cool. So, from this direction, we pop out a scroll, and we read it, and it starts glowing, and the words come out, which gives me a very, The Unknown from Pokemon vibe, if you also... And then you just, boop! You just disappear! And you, like, touch one, and just, psh, that's so cool! What? So it's okay. It goes around us. We're like, whoa. I want to go to that one. They all go in you, and you go, ah! And you vanish. And I will say, there's a better animation with the vanishing there than the other ones. So some of the other ones I noticed last second, you kind of stand there and then vanish. That one was really well programmed to make you vanish in a way that is like, you know, it makes sense. It vanishes at the right timing is what I'm trying to say. So that's really, okay, that's insane. That is such a cool back animation. Wow. That is like a 10 out of 10, man. The only thing that could make it a little better, maybe I won't give it a 10 out of 10, is if it had a sound effect. But at the same time, I think they're worried to do too many sound effects that might be annoying to other players around them. So, I get it. There's a balance. But you know, the regular map has a little like reading sound effect. And I know the one that like you summon the tree has a sound effect. And the monkey one, the previous one has a sound effect. So it would be nice if there was a little like rustling, like rune sound effect or something. I think that's my only critique. So if there was some kind of like sound, you know, sound effect, like, doesn't have to sound like me like that, but you get my point, right? That's so cool though. Gosh, that's a cool animation. Oh, so yeah, that's a 9 out of 10. I give it a 10 out of 10 if it had sound effects. That's 9 out of 10. It's worth it. I think it's worth getting. If you think it's cool like me, that might be worth it for you. You'll have it on every character then. You just have to apply it like I showed you. All right, so with that, my friends, we're pretty much done. They always give you a blank normal cosmetic weapons. I don't want it, so I'm just going to destroy it. But they always give you one of those. Again, gear-wise, I'll keep this gear for later. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably keep it in something. I need to turn down the cicadas, though. That's really loud and annoying. It's too loud and too annoying. Okay, there we go. We'll leave them right there. And then, pretty much now what we have to do is I'm going to put these Valor boosts into my shared storage. This is how you do it. All right, so here's what I would do if I were you. If you're not going to do it on your main character or you're waiting. So for my reputation ones, I'm going to drop these in here. Whoop, for later, I have some other ones from a supporter pack. So those are waiting for the new expansion. Probably use them on Zollin and a couple of other of my characters. The carry-all, I'm not going to use quite yet. I'm going to wait. So I'm going to just put it into my carry-alls. I'll open it later, decide. It'll be, your carry-all will be bound to your account. So you can always put them in your shared storage like all these other carry-alls are. To move them around if you need to with crafting. So I have a bunch of crafting ones. I know you guys are like, that's a lot of carry-alls. I know. So I'm going to drop these other reps in here. Reputations. One-time uses I have. You don't need to see how I organize stuff. This is how I organize stuff. And crafting components. So I will leave this here for when the crafting comes out. And then items-wise, I'm going to drop my Valor boost here. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in my temporary so I don't lose it for the next part of the video. There we go. I'll put those there. And then I'm going to do, I will level someone up during this video here at the end. So, until that time, we're going to teleport over to the next characters to cover. But if you enjoyed this and you're happy, thanks for being here. Thanks to my Patreons. Thank you, El Random, for being in Zollin's company. Red for being a Royal Guardian. All my Patreons. I do the channel full time. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. Oh, and by the way, shout out, Standing Stones did send me the pre-purchase here code for this to show you guys, so I appreciate that. That was very nice. I would have bought it, but that was very kind that they sent it to me. So thank you to them as well for that, before I forget. And again, you guys, thank you for watching. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Maybe share it with a friend. Check it out. Check LOTRO out. I'd love to make LOTRO just a fun, contagious enjoyment where you guys just all want to check it out because it's really a fun game. It's super fun. And it's got its little quirks here and there, but it's way better than maybe some people have told you. It's really fun. There's been so many huge updates going on, and it's a blast. So anyway, with that, thank you before I forget. But if you'd like to continue with me, I'm going to be showing you now on the Hobbit, Elf, and Man. Maybe we'll start with Man. And then at the end of the video out there, I'll tell you we're going to work on Valor boosting a character with those Valor boosts. Okay, and we can see how much is given in those as well. All right, so until that, let's get to the next character, Baruch Kazad. All right, I'm on my human lore master, and we're going to check out what it looks like on the human. All right, so again, like every character, you will pop in and you will see only 2 boxes that should be on your other characters, and it'll be the Kingdoms of Harad Ultimate Edition and the Kingdoms of Harad Collector's Edition. So we will start with Collectors and go into the Ultimate. So we will go ahead and first, now I am going to not do the Baubles or the Pets again because they will be identical, but I will check out the mount on the other races because they do scale sometimes depending on the race. So we will check out the mount. So let's go ahead and open the gear here. Let me make sure I have a spot I have to put this gear on. I've got so many, all the other gears that I've checked out here. Let's go ahead and put this gear on. Whoop, whoop. And there it is. This is the trick to... All right. Here is what the gear looks like on the human. Again, legitly cool. It looks amazing. Look at that. Just take a screenshot. Oh, butterfly's in the way. Another screenshot. Yeah, so that looks really cool. It also looks cool with this sword, by the way, which is from the previous supporter pack, which I covered on the channel as well. Same playlist, if you want to see. But I'm not sure if that supporter pack is still out, though, at the time of this video, so don't want to get your hopes up if you want it. If you can't get it. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like with the hooded version. There's the hooded version on the human. You know, it's funny. The dwarf could get away with the hooded version with the helmet. It kind of looked cool. It doesn't look very good on the human. The dwarf one looked, the way it clipped, it kind of made sense. It looks a little silly on the human when it clips through, but I mean, you might want to do that. You might still want to be able to have this cool underneath with the helmet. So maybe you still want to let it clip. I don't know. But let's look at it without the helmet on. All right, there it is with just the beard. Again, the cape on this one's gorgeous. It's got a lot more, now that I'm in the light of Breland, it's a little bit more natural, the light, than where I was at. It's a little bit more greenish than I realized. A lot more green in it. So, cool. That's honestly a good reason why I kind of like to go to different places to show you different things. Lighting does matter, both in real life and in the video game. Alright, so anyway, that looks legit. The helmet looks a little, it's different how it's like so much higher up on the human, but it looks really good. I mean, it looks really, really good, doesn't it? I think it looks so good. Alright, anyway, that looks fantastic. So there we go. There is the Vigilance Collector's Edition set. Let us go ahead real quick and look at the mount with the armor on, since that makes sense. Gosh, that looks nice. Now, one thing I immediately noticed is the camel is much larger on the human. Feels a little bit more accurate to size if I go next to these NPCs. So they just didn't, they scaled down the camel for the dwarf, basically, which I'm sure they would do that for the Hobbit. But I did enjoy that the Homesteed mount was scaled up for all the races. But yeah, look at that with the beautiful sunrise. Oh, my camel. He's watching the butterflies. Let's go by. It's a really, it's actually kind of like a gorgeous shot. It's like the light in the background gloriously glowing. Alright, anyway, enough admiring the gorgeous set, even though that's the point of this video. Let's move on to the next one here. So we're going to go ahead and open up the other Collector's Edition one here, and then we will first off get the golden camo. I keep saying camo. Camel! Excuse me. We will not worry about the baby one or the basket. We will check out the milestone animation on the human, which will look really, really cool on a Lore Master or Runekeeper. Probably more lore accurate to have it on a Lore Master or Runekeeper. And again, I'm already 150, so I'm not going to keep the golden line earring on this character. But other characters would be good on. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this next box set here. So what I want to do is I want to put the weapons aura real quick on the items so we can kind of see what it looks like on that. Again, will probably look cooler on a Lore Master than on a Guardian Dwarf. Just cause, like, roleplay-wise, lore-wise. It would make a lot more sense for a Runekeeper or a Lore Master to be able to pull magical words off a page. So, there it is. And did I miss anything? No, I do not need that. Okay. So, there is the set on the human. Now, I would definitely say this set feels a little more warrior-ish. I mean, it still works, I guess, on a Lore Master, but it definitely feels like it's more built for a warrior. Where the other one feels a little bit more like you'd be a mage with the... that's just me. You do whatever you guys want. It's your sets. You enjoy yourself. But... yeah, it looks really, really good on the human. The textures, I like the lion helmet, I think, better on the human. It's less smushed because dwarves are smaller. And it's like stretched out, so you kind of see the definition of like the lion's nose and cheeks more. Looks really nice. Again, I can't get over how cool this thing. It actually looks kind of cool with the staff like inside the the quiver. It's like a magical lion. Also, I just realized the weapons aura is not working correctly. Again, if you have that problem, go to your main equipment, take off your placeholders, and then put them straight back on. And it will usually always fix the weapons aura, which, as you can see, it did. So there's the weapons aura on the staff. Again, it's like a glowing effect. It almost has like a force field effect around the item with a glowing around the force field. Looks really, really cool. It's crazy to see these animations in this game where, like, the game never looked this good. Like, we didn't have bugs flying around on the screen. We didn't have these amazing light effects and textures and, you know, these shielding effects and... none of this was in the game 10 years ago. It's just so cool to see how far the game's come. Yeah, anyway, that looks really cool. The sword looks legit, too. There it is, with the little colored blade effects on there down there. All right, so let's look at the camel and the back animation. So, into the collection, let's look at the golden camel. Oh my gosh. Driving myself crazy. Sorry, guys. All right, so there it is. Oh, wait, is it darker? Is that random? No, this one, yeah. This camel, I just realized this camel's, like, fur is darker. It matches the armor sets. It's cool. Really cool. Someone just running by us behind us. Hello there. So anyway, give a little run animation for you guys. Check it out. Check out the camel on the human run animation. All right, and a walk animation. Legit. Looks awesome. There's a side animation. And show you, it's going to look the same on the dwarf and the other one. So that's a little walk animation sideways. There's a run sideways animation. Here's a backwards reverse thrust bend. I'm just kidding. Let me do a starship flip while I'm at it. Just start doing sci-fi comments. All right. So there we are. That looks pretty cool. Last thing is the back animation for the human, and then we'll jump over and see these on the elf and the hobbit real quick. I'm always like afraid I'm gonna forget one of them, and then go like, ah, dang it, when I'm editing, I forgot. All right, there we go. Let's do a back animation. Let's see how it looks on the human. Oh, There is a sound effect. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a there was a glitch. There was a glitch. Clear. So something happened when I was at my housing area to not get it. Unless, is it hooked to music? No. Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. Is it? It's user interface? That's why we couldn't hear it. Is that what it is? I want to know what it is now. No, it's not user interface. Is it combat? Nope, not combat. Which one? Is it just a regular sound effect? Okay, so it was glitched. It was just glitched because I just got it in my homing. Excuse my words today. Edit that out, Zollin. I'm not doing that work. What? Dang it. My housing area. So when I was in my housing area and opened it up, I glitched it out somehow and I wasn't getting a sound. So I will do a timestamp, but I kind of want people to know it has a sound effect and not leave the video before this moment. So hopefully you didn't leave the video before this moment. I'll put a little timestamp on my video and say, the sound works, it was my fault, go to the human. A little timestamp right there or something. So yeah, that's legit. That's exactly the sound effect that I was describing to you, wasn't it? That's actually the funniest part. And I poof out. I guess it shows me for a second after. So it's maybe not exactly timed. It's pretty close though. That's cool. That is that back animation right there makes this whole expansion worth getting. Now, it's a pre-order one with the expansion, so I believe this will stay on the store forever. This is not going to be something that's limited time like the supporter packs are. So that's something, if you are seeing this a year from now, the expansion's already been out, you should still be able to get this whole set with the with just buying the expansion with the Ultimate Collector's Edition. All right, to the next one. Baruch Kazad. All right, we're back, and we're on an elf. One of my only elves. All right, so, don't worry, I like elves too. That's why I've caught one. All right, so let's go here and open up the first pack. Make sure that it doesn't go anywhere weird. Okay, there we go. Again, we're only going to be looking at the cosmetic gear. We're going to do this a little bit faster than the previous one. I basically want this to be here for those who are the elf players and they're like, Zollin, you got to show us the elf gear. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So let's put it on the elf. All right, and the cloak. Again, here it is with, let's do weapons auras. All right, there it is on the elf. It's very elegant and very slick on the elf. It's the first thing I noticed when I look at this. That looks really cool. And I want to also make sure the weapons auras are working. So give me 1 second here. Did it do the wrong ones? Trying to figure out. I want the new auras to work. Because that is definitely not the auras that we want. Okay, oh, silly me. I have the wrong aura on because we're not at auras yet. So, forget me for a second. All right, so there we go. That is what it looks like on the elf. Let's do a little run around for us elf players out there that want to see what it looks like. It looks really cool on the elf. It's actually really, really awesome. Here's a little bit of a walk animation, which I realized I don't know if I did on the human. I apologize if I didn't. But they're going to walk pretty similar. Elves have a little bit of a different stride, but it's not too different. All right, there it is. And then, of course, we're going to go into our collection. We're going to find our camel. I said it right. And we are going to see some camel walk animation here with our elf. Very elegant with the elf. Again, I would stress that I would like to see some reins in my hands, or at least see him holding onto the horn of the saddle. But not the end of the world. The elf kind of... You guys notice the elf seems like it's almost bouncing off? Oh, there it goes. It was glitched. It fixed it. Okay, all right, we're good. Just jump or something. Problem solved. Okay, now it looks normal. Oh, and it almost looks like it's getting off. Do you guys notice that? Is the bounce of the elf a different speed than the bounce of the camel? If it is, they'll probably do a little patch later if it's significant enough. Let's see if I keep running, if I get back in timing with it. If I stop and just start back up. Okay, if I start, okay. Now it seems like it's working. Yeah, it almost looks like I start getting off or something. Are you seeing that, or am I going crazy? I think it looks really good still on the elf. But I just want to make sure you guys know, for those elf players out there. Also, his little mouth opens when he's running, which is kind of cool. Brrr, brrr. Oh, I didn't even do a jump. I'm sorry. I should have done jumps. That's what it looks like when it jumps. It's probably identical on the other races as well. Its jump is okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's necessarily perfect. I mean, it's pretty... It feels realistic how his longer legs are like out front. He's like... Whoa. Also, I realized something that is kind of cool. How the camel's knees bend. It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It's really fast, I know, but it still looks cool. All right, so there we go. There's that one for the camel riding. Let's go ahead and open the next one here. And like before, I will keep the golden lion earring, and in fact, I will replace it on this character. So this is my level 65 hunter. So I have level 150 on my alt account. But now basically I look at the previous expansions. They gave us earrings. This one will go up to 130. This one will go up to 120. So I'm going to take off the 120 earring and I'm going to put the one that goes on to 150, since they both scale pretty much identically to those levels. Just the earring of the Dead City is from Dual Door expansion, and it only works up to 120. So do keep that in mind if you're someone who's going back to buy previous expansions. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy the Ultimate Edition of all of them because they all give experience bonuses. Careful. They don't all. A lot of the newer 4 or 5 all give earrings up to that level. So you really only have 2 to use. But if you go back far enough, which I just realized my gear, if you go back far enough to some of the other expansions, you buy them, you can actually get the Shield of the Hammerhand, which I don't think you can go back and get the original expansions, though, of those, unfortunately, from what I remember. But if they do, I'll link it, but I don't think you can anymore. But you can actually get the Shield of the Hammerhand, and you can also get the Outrider's Token, which goes up to level 74, and this one goes to level 85, and those all stack. So you got a 25, a 25, and a 25, and a 25. So you get 100% bonus experience to kills, questing, and crafting. But no matter what, if you go back and you're a newer player right now, just want to buy some of those last 4 or 5 expansions to get a lot of the carry-alls and a lot of the goodies, you're really only going to have 2 of those that are really going to help you. It's going to be the newest one, and it's going to be the previous one, which again was Faithful Gunabad with the last earring, 130. I think there's another one. I think there's a 141 for the Gundabad, sorry, not the Gundabad, the Umbar expansion, or the Legacy of Morgoth. It might be the Umbar expansion. One of those is going to give you an earring that's 1 to 140. I just haven't opened it on this character, probably. All right, so anyway, moving on. So now what I'll do is I'm actually just going to destroy the Earring of the Dead City because it's lower level than the others for this character, and it's bound to the character. We're going to open up the gear, and now what we're going to do is we're going to use this one. All right, I'm going to put on my gloves. I'm sorry, my inventory is so messy on this character. Just been using him for things like this. All right, the placeholder I don't need. The placeholder is there if you're an alt account or your main account and you only have 1 expansion and you need to have more, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. All right, there we go. You can see the special effects on my blades from the special weapons aura. You can see the gear on the elf. It looks legit on the elf. I gotta say, it looks really, really good. Very cool indeed. Very nice. All right, collector's edition. We're gonna get the camel here. Here's a little run around with the camel. The saddle seems larger, but I think it's because the armor doesn't have a big, fluffy, legging skirt part, whatever, like the other one did. Whatever you call it. Could be a kilt. No, it's not a kilt. It's not a kilt, guys. Those are different. All right. I always chuckle when people are like, you can't wear a kilt. It's like a skirt. No, guys. Kilts were worn probably just as often, if not before, skirts were by women. And they're very different. If you know about what a kilt is, it's a very different thing than a skirt. Just the way it's made, the material, the way you fasten it on your belt. It's a totally different piece of clothing. Not that that matters. I'm not going to get a big argument about kilts on this video because that would be really random. But just throwing that out there for those. I am well versed in that knowledge of that. All right, so there we go. Looks very cool. I like it a lot. We're going to move on to our hobbits for the last one here. Yeah, I'm not missing anything. We're good. So ready, a little teleport to the Hobbit. Baruch Kazad! All right, we're back. We'll open up the first one like normal. Same thing, same. All right, we're going to put on real quick the gear. Normally, sometimes I'll put it on ahead for you guys, but we're just going to do it here right on video. All right. You always have to drag and drop with cosmetics or it'll put it on your main gear if you're right-clicking. Just a little side note. I'm sure you guys already know that, but just thought it'd be important. All right, here it is on the Hobbit. Your little sentinel Hobbit. Looks legit. Why does it look so good on the Hobbit? That's so funny. Oh, man. All right, Mr. Hobbit, your jury and executioner is here. This guy just walks up in this, and you're like, what the heck is that? Oh my gosh. Ready? Stealthy Hobbit. Stealthy. Here's him running around a little bit. Here's some sideways movement. This is like, okay, this is Hobbit awkward slide moment, okay? So he just hides behind here. And then he's like, just hides behind. No one will see me. The awkward, scary. I feel like this is like a horror game Hobbit right here. He just moving very slowly around the corner behind you, and you're like, what is that? All right, so there's that one. So let's go ahead and check out the mounts before I lose track. That's not the mount I wanted. This is not the mount you're looking for. I know. Thank you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want my camel. All right. Little run around with the camel. It is much smaller. It actually looks smaller even than the dwarf version of the camel, which makes sense. They usually scale human and elf are about the same size. Dwarf is a little smaller, and then Hobbit is the smallest. I'm gonna have to put a camel inside our mounts here now that I have here at the kinship house. I summon horses to ride with me. Look at how furry he is. All right, anyway. Looks good. Okay, so now, let's look at the last set. And again, this character's 150, so I will not be keeping the golden lion earring, even though it's cool, but he's not 150. Cosmetic opening. I actually like that set for him. I might keep that one on here. Let's see. I'm going to replace this one. Oh, where? Oh, I already did that one. Come on, Zollin. Speed up. All right. Here it is on the Hobbit, everyone. Also, you probably want to see the cosmetic blades of death. So we'll do that, and then we'll switch over, and remember, take them off the main slots, put them right back on, and you should see them updated. There we go. There it is. The lion set on the hobbits. What do you guys think? I like it. Here's a little bit of walk back and forth. I think hobbits are hilarious how they walk. They're like... Alright. And with that, we'll do our mount and be done with looking at all of the different books. The golden mount. Alright, here is the golden mount. Kind of matches the Gondorian building I have right there, doesn't it? A little bit of jumping. Little full-on run. It's a fast mount. It does feel like a very fast mount. Especially on the Hobbit, man. It feels like you're flying with this thing. Also, since this is a golden camel, I will definitely add it to the stable of gold mounts that I have here. For our collections. Obviously they can't swim, but do they make some ripples? So they make some ripples. Where is my water mount? I want my boat, Standing Stones. Been asking for that boat for 15 years. Maybe longer. Alright guys, so anyway, that is the sets for the dwarf, elf, man, and hobbit. I flipped two of them, but in the order as we did it. Dwarf, man, elf, and hobbit. And again, I hope this helped you guys out. You have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth, my friends. I will be leveling up here at the end of this video now, but I'll pretend like this is the end of the video here, and then we'll move on to the next part. So again, thank you to my Patreons. Thank you to Randor for being Zollin's company, Red for being a Royal Guardian, all you guys for liking, subscribing, and watching the video. Again, I hope this helped. If you got to the very end of the video, I appreciate it. I hope this really helped you out. Yeah, leave a comment like, hey, I got to the hour and 22-minute mark. I'll be like, wow, you're dedicated. Appreciate the support. But hopefully this did help you out, helps you decide if you want to buy the expansion. Again, that was very nice that Standing Stone sent me this to review for you guys. So I appreciate it. Yeah, super awesome. Again, I probably would have got the expansion anyway because I love this game. But it did mean a lot that they sent that, so thank you very much. And you guys have a great day in Middle-earth. I think this is a very, very good one. You know, in the previous two supporter packs, I think they were good too, but I did have some critiques on a few things. The gear on this one is really, really well done. The Milestone back animation that has sound, sorry, I didn't realize that before, is really, really cool. It's probably going to be the same. I didn't really show that on the elf, did I? But it's going to probably be the same on both, so I'm just going to put that on here. Let's just see what it looks like on the Hobbit. Oh, interesting. I can't hear it again. Maybe it's a housing area problem. Maybe there's a glitch with the housing area. Maybe I'll send the devs a little message about that later. Maybe they'll update that and fix that. I bet you will see in the next patch notes that we updated the little glitch where the sound from the Milestone wouldn't work in housing areas. Blah, blah, blah. I bet you will get that later. So, but anyway, thank you guys again for being here for this video. And appreciate, again, my Patreons and everyone for supporting. And like and subscribe. Enjoy. Check out my other content. You can check my other social media. You can join our Discord. We play on the server Glamdring if you ever want to play with our kinship. And it also seems like, interestingly enough, if you stop the words and walk away, they freeze. The words freeze. Look. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so very, very cool. I like that the words just freeze and then disappear. That's kind of cool. You stop the magical incantation. But yeah, super cool. So again, the next part of this video is going to be me doing a Valor boost on two of my other characters for using the basics at least. And I'll show you some basic stuff. I have guides on using Valor boosts. I have guides on doing legendary items, how to power up your character. I have those all already on the guide playlists. This is the wardrobe playlist. It's my review playlist in cosmetics that I review mainly. So, but I'm going to tag this in the video anyway because I feel like it's important, since if you bought this expansion you might be curious and you want to see it now and you don't want to have to go look for my other videos. So I'll see you in the next part of the video, but for the rest of you, thanks so much. Have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth, and I'm at your service and your families. Why, hello, and welcome to the next part of the video. If you stayed and you jumped and you've been here from quarter second ago, welcome. But if you jump to this part of the video because I sent you here as your kinship leader, or one of you and said, hey, I've got info on the end of that about the Valor boosts, that's where you are. So welcome to this last part of the video. I'm going to be using the Valor boosts from the Kingdoms of Harad Expansion Ultimate Edition and the one from the Generic Edition. So this year they gave you a Valor boost just for buying the expansion. So the basic $40 expansion will give you a regular Valor boost. Now I am actually going to use that on my other character. I'm going to use the Valor level boost package, which has a little bit of extra goodies in it. So this is from the Ultimate Collector's Edition I'm going to use for the Kingdoms of Harad on my character here, Zollin, who is my Dwarven Minstrel. He is level 122, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Zollin, why wouldn't you use your Valor boost on a character that's lower level to get them up immediately? Well, I have every class max level except for a mini champion and Bjorn right now. And the Valor boost only takes you to 150, does not take you to the new cap, just to get you up there. So I'm going to be using this to just help save me some time on my Minstrel, and I will show you some stuff you can kind of do when you first do the level boost. I'll be doing similar things that you guys will have to do, and I'm going to go through it in a quick manner. Again, I have a guide dedicated to this subject, which I'll go a little bit more long form on talking, but I'm going to do this a little bit faster at the end of this video right now, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the Valor level boost package 150 bucks to see what it has in it, okay? Make sure you open it on the right character, because it will bind things to your character. All right, so let's see what does binds, what does not bind. This is very important for you to know if you don't know already. So the Valor level 150 boost, bound to character. You see, it says bound to Zollin now in gray on the tooltip. Bound to character. So you have to open on the character you want to use the 150 boost on. The next thing is a Virtues of the Valor tutorial thing that you'll have to use. Item is bound to your character. You open this quest will allow you to access your virtue token coffer, which you can use to advance your virtues. So this Valor one will give you a bunch of virtue experience, which is fantastic. You want virtue experience. So yes, the Kingdoms of Harad Ultimate Edition gave you some virtue experience in the Ultimate Pack, like we saw previously in the video, and it also gave you virtue experience within the Valor boost from the Ultimate Edition. So just keep all that in mind. Some people were telling me it didn't before I made this video. It does. It does give you virtue experience, okay? So Valors of the token. So first things first, you go through and you need to look at what you have or don't have. Now again, you can see bound to Zollin, WarSteed. Normally you just go through and learn these. I right click and you learn your WarSteed. Now, I already have the skill trained, so I will not need this WarSteed. Be extremely careful, you guys, doing what I'm about to do, but you need to make sure you know. If your character is already past level 70 when use of this Valor boost, and it says bound to your character, and it says when you right click it, the skill is already trained, and again, you can always go into character, you can go into skills, which I think skills is normally, is it just K for skills, or is it, I think it's K. Just making sure I remember correctly. Yes, it's K for skills, I was right. Skills, okay? Because the other one's for something else. If you go into passives, all right, close them all and just look for, I believe it is passive. One of these has passive WarSteeds automatically if you already have it. Yeah, I think, is it in discounts? And it wouldn't be in discounts. Instruments wouldn't be key. I'm trying to remember if it shows you in here. I thought it did. Yeah, there it is. WarSteed writing. So I know I already have it. I've already learned it from actually completing it. Or maybe I used a Valor boost to get to 120 or something in this character. I don't remember. But so that's a, now you know you have it. Little side note, fun fact: Journeyman Riding. If you have a lot of LOTRO points, it goes to all your characters on your account. Very good one to buy. It's pricey. It's quite a bit of LOTRO points, but it's a good one for your account. All right. So basically, since I know I don't need it, I'm going to destroy that. But I'm not going to do it right now. So I'll just leave it out of the way. And then we also have another one called Riding. This is if your character was very low level and you did a Valor. You don't need this if you already learned it, so I'm going to not need that. Again, this one is bound to account, so in theory, I could put this one on into my vaults. Okay, this is not bound to character, and I could give this to a brand new character. If I had another character that I made, I could have him use it to get Riding. Now, fun fact, if you have Journeyman Riding, you automatically get Riding on every character you make, so You won't have to earn it anyway. But if you're someone who just bought the expansion, doesn't have journeyman writing, you may want to hold on to your writing skill to give to someone another alt in the future. So don't throw that one away. If it says bound to account, stick it in your shared storage for someone on one of your other characters. You have room. All right, we have Valor weapon package. You have to be level 150, so it's one of our Valor weapons. These are our weapon packages for legendaries. Then we also have Valor item pack. Contains a number of items to help you get started. All content will be bound to your character when you open it, and it's bound to Zollin, so I have to use Xylan. I have to use it on him. So what I'm going to do now is, standing right here in the glorious sun of Durin's day, I'm going to bring Xylan from level 122 immediately to 150. He will get enlightened, apparently. Alright. Here we go. Valor level boost. So the one you're going to want to use first, the Valor level boost, a lot of things is going to happen. So prepare yourselves for a little bit of freeze and a cool effect. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, right click. And I don't remember that it teleports you. All right, boom. We're level 150. It just finished. If we quickly look in general, you can see we just got New Deed, Barrow, Great Sambrog. It automatically gives you the Sambrog key just to be nice to help you out. You never did it. I thought this character had done it. I guess not. Valor instances and skirmishes. Your level has been changed to 150. You've earned 5,600 Destiny points. So if you normally level, you get a little Destiny points every level. You automatically get every Destiny point for every level. You've earned 407. I guess that's million, 470,535,368 experience for a total of 549,062,588 experience, which is a very large number. That's how you find you need to get to level 50. You've acquired the passive skill, Valor level 150 boosted. Interesting. So it actually gives you a passive skill that you can see you used that poop. That's interesting. You also got some new deeds, instructions completed. You completed a bunch of deeds automatically from the reflecting pool, the delving introductions that you can't do. So this character I didn't really use a lot with a lot of stuff like this. But basically a lot of things that are like stuff that stops you from being able to do it without the intros, they automatically got rid of a lot of the low-level deeds for you. You can see them all right there. I do not believe they finished the one where it allows you to go by the stones in Angmar. Someone made that comment the other day. I'm not sure. I'd have to test it to be sure with this character. I think, unless this guy's done it. So that's it. We have finished that. We're not going to be reading world chat. And now that we have the skull key, just make sure you right-click it. It'll go into your passives. All right? So this is where it teleports you. It actually teleports you to the city of Umbar. It's basically to get you started where I'm assuming when the expansion is released, somewhere right around here is where you're going to start the quest line to go into the Kindoms of Harad expansion. All right, here in the city of Umbar, Baharbel. All right, that's why they send you here. You can also get the, it's just a convenience thing. But be warned, you get sent without your consent. Without your consent. You get sent somewhere without your consent. Well, actually, if I read the whole thing and read it, it would have said probably I got teleported. So I signed it without even realizing. But yeah, so anyway, we got sent over here. Virtues of the Valor tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on this one. This is going to say the scroll will be bestowed upon you. Completing will allow you to access your virtue token coffer, which can now improve your virtues. So accept. And then it's going to say some stuff here. Hold on. We also, by the way, got some new quests. Speak with different people. You may want to accept those immediately because those will probably pull you into things. Those are 140. But some of them are going to be important for you. All right, the reason they give you the quest one... I gotta turn that music down. I'm getting distracted. The reason they give you the quest one, okay, to finish, is it says, complete this quest to gain access to the token virtue appropriate tier of your level. Important, make sure you select each virtue and wish to advance before using your virtue items. Open the J panel, do it, select your virtues. I'm going to explain that right now, so I'll say finish, all right? And I'll grab this other introduction quest, even though it's kind of low level, but just for later. So now what you need to do is you need to open your virtues. So go to this little Gandalf down here. Go to the bottom page right here. Okay? Now, I have a video on virtues. I explain them. All right? I want to do a fast overview for you here. I don't want to turn this into 10 minutes. I want this to be like 2 minutes, okay? Here we go. You can go watch my guy video on it if you need more. Virtues are very important to think about ahead of time. Virtues all have two different stats. They have an active stat, which is the upper numbers, and the one at the bottom that says passive bonus is a bonus stat. The bonus stats are all active across all virtues on your character at all times. So in the end, if you can get every virtue to max level, it will help you. But you don't want to think when you're leveling your virtues, doing deeds and stuff over the landscape, you don't want to go, I should slowly put in virtue experience across all my virtues. The reason for this why, okay? Some people might disagree with me, that's okay. But the reason for this, at the end of the levels of virtues have different level caps than your level of your character. As you can see, virtues have a 0 out of 96. This number will go up if you're watching this later during the Kingdoms of Harad. It might be like 100, 104. I don't know how much they're going to add. But what you need to keep in mind is the last bit of levels will be drastically more stats because they scale for the levels. So like from level 140 to 150, there was a big stat scaling of levels, right? Same thing between 150 and 160. There's going to be a big thing of stat scaling. No, not like the animal thing. No, that's not what I meant. Sorry, I'm having trouble with words. I'm sorry. So just keep in mind that from like 85 to 96, you get massive bonuses. Later, after 96, even if you have max level, once you're at 160, whatever 96 to whatever the new cap will be for virtues will have a big stat increase. It might be double or triple all the other numbers, levels before on virtues. So, with that in mind, you need to think about two things before you do it. You might want to think ahead about what you're doing endgame, whatever class you're playing. Are you a minstrel like I am? Do you do red line DPS minstrel or do you do blue line healing minstrel? One thing everyone's going to want is defenses. For doing high-end game raid tiers, you want defenses. If you quickly look at all the virtues, you can see that some of them have a little blue shield and some of them have a little red sword. Red swords mean damage, DPS virtue, more alike, or it's more for not that. Blue is defensive. It's going to somehow give you defensive stats, okay? Now, within those virtues, you need to look through and what you need, right? So, for example, like Wit is a attack virtue. As you can see, it gives finesse, crit, physical, and tactical mitigation. So this is really a good one if you need a lot more finesse and crit for really any DPS class, whether you're a physical dealer or a magic dealer, okay? So it's a pretty good one. If you need help deciding which virtues you need to go to pick through and put your virtue experience in, which I will do in this video, we're going to go to what's called LOTRO HQ. I highly recommend it. It's a little behind in levels, but virtues they recommend will be the same, I believe, for 160 and for 150 right now, even though they have they're capped at like 130 with the page, but it's helpful. So ones to remember: tolerance and fidelity. These two are like pinnacle traits, defensive ones, that you're going to want probably on every character, whether you're DPSing, support, healing, or tanking. You're probably going to want tolerance and fidelity. So those are two good ones you can just aim for to max out with defenses. Now, when it comes to dealing damage, or whatever you're doing, if you're a healer, you're going to want to look for the damage ones that give you crit chance, because crit chance will still help you with that. Tactical mastery will also still help you with healing to an extent. But other things like finesse will be irrelevant if you're a healer, and things like that. Finesse is great if you're a DPS dealer, because you want to make sure you're not missing the enemy, and that's what finesse does. Also, you can go through things like wisdom. So wisdom is a very good thing for tactical classes, because it gives you will. Now, in theory, will would also give you defense stats for a tank class. A lot of, like the Guardian gets defense stats for will. But it gives you tactical mastery, which is either magic healing or magic damage. And it gives you finesse, which is for, like, not missing. Now, technically, finesse also can help a Guardian tank, but I will just tell you right now, don't use wisdom on a Guardian. It's not going to be good for you. There's other better ones. They give you some of those stats and things. You'll be good. Mainly defensive stats for like tanks, again, would be tolerance and fidelity. Another good one, compassion actually has very good tactical and physical mitts later on. The reason why tolerance and fidelity are so great is they both give you like 10,000 almost tactical mitigation, not tactical mastery, mitigation. It's annoying to me that both mitigation and mastery both say tactical and physical before. it's confusing for people. It confuses me all the time, and my officers will laugh because I say them wrong all the time when we're talking about it. But the bottom line is, physical and tactical, there are two different kinds. There is your damage output, whether you're physical or a tactical mastery, meaning how good you are at doing physical damage or magic damage. And mitigations is how good you are at taking physical or tactical mitigations. Everybody's going to want a nice balance of mitigations, okay? That's why tolerance and fidelity will be good ones for you. Again, we've gone like 6 minutes into this conversation. So bottom line is, that's what you need to look for. Tolerance, fidelity, great ones to try to max first. Other good ones if you're a tactical class are like wit, wisdom, confidence gives amazing crit and finesse. Great for, probably good for a healer too, because it gives like 12,000 crit at the end. Things like that. Determination is great for like hunters and burglars, gives a lot of agility. In theory, you could throw it on a class that also gets some benefits from agility if you wanted to, but really that's going to be for more agility-based classes. And you can kind of go through and read all the stats on what they do. So, but remember, whichever ones you have active, you right-click to have them active. So again, I'm going to choose which ones I want to have active on my minstrel. So I want to have tolerance and I want to have fidelity maxed because those are really good stats on them. So those are the two I'm going to max there. Let me bring up the LOTRO HQ and I'll show you how to do this real fast. All right, here's the LOTRO HQ. I'm too much of a teacher. I gotta like show you guys properly. I feel like I've left something out later for you. So you go into here, go to LOTRO HQ. I'll link it down there in the description for you. Go to your classes. For me, I'm gonna do a minstrel. Okay, you can find your class. One other thing important to think about is what you're building for. So you might want to look, are you going to play a red line minstrel? Are you going to be a DPSer because they're amazing and those are needed a lot? Or are you going to be a healer because, again, they're one of the main healers in the game. So you want to choose which one. It will recommend sometimes too, but let's go ahead and look at, again, this is, I think we're red DPS minstrel. Okay, I don't know why this white thing is down here. All right, there. So Eagles kind of show you what they recommend with the trait tree. Again, another great thing if you need that, but we're not going to go into that. Here's the virtues they recommend for a DPS minstrel. They recommend honesty, wit, confidence, wisdom, and valor. Okay, which let's just double back over to LOTRO and see if we like those choices. So they said wisdom. I already said that would be a good one. They like wit. That would be a great one for DPS. I agree with them on both of those. Confidence, that's the crit one. Great one. I agree with them with that. Valor, let's see which one Valor is. Valor is physical mastery, finesse, and crit rating. So this is one that, like, it's kind of give and take. You really don't need physical mastery rating. So I kind of disagree with this one choice. I would probably throw in tolerance or fidelity for just more defensive stats. But in theory, it does give you that more crit rating and finesse, which you do need at higher levels. So could be good if you're going full damage. You don't really care about your defenses. But a lot of raids, if you're higher tier, you really need to think about your mitigations, your physical and tactical mitigations, which are your defenses. And then honesty is the other one they picked. And honesty, again, is tactical mastery, will, and crit. I agree with all of those. I think those are fantastic. I just, personally for me, so I'm going to do confidence, wit, and I think I will do probably wisdom, because that's a good one. Now, really, it comes down to what you want here. Again, so I would switch out Valor personally with either tolerance or fidelity to just have the defenses. That's up to you. If you're going full landscape, you might not need the defenses, but if you're raiding later, this is why you need to think about it ahead. Okay? So this is where there's a little bit of finagling, but make sure you pick the 5 being ones you want for whatever the main thing you're doing is. Now, if we were going to do healing and you want to think ahead, I could go to the blue line here, see their blue line recommendation. What do they recommend for blue line? Well, confidence and wit, again, crit rating. Remember I told you those were good, so I agree with that. And then fortitude, honor, and loyalty. So loyalty gives you some defenses. It gives you incoming healing, armor, and vitality. It's just a defensive one. It's up to you. I would actually probably go for fidelity or tolerance over that with stats in the meta, at least at 150. We'll see what it is at 160. I'll have a guide on that later, but that's okay. And then it said the other ones were fortitude and honor. So we go to fortitude. Fortitude is maximum health, crit, defense, resistance. I don't really agree with that one for healing, but it's okay. It's just basically to make you tankier. But again, for both loyalty and fortitude, I would just change them out for tolerance and fidelity. Personally, my own personal choice. But again, that's up to you. I just think those flat tactical and physical mitigations are better than, like, crit defense and resistance rating really doesn't help that much in the stat meta, and I don't think that's going to change in the Kindoms Harad very much for endgame. It's my gut feeling. We'll see, but it's my gut feeling right now. I'll have guides when the expansion's out later, so you can double back and check. But again, and then they said loyalty and honor. Now, honor, again, is a tactical mitigation, a maximum morale, crit defense. That's a good one, too. Again, those are all good. So I recommend, I agree with them with their healing choices. Again, they're basically saying pick the crit ones that give a lot of crit chance, and pick the ones that give you defenses. So now, again, I would recommend out of one of these three, or two of these three, I'd put a fidelity or tolerance in one, and then pick one of the other of these three. You could even skip that entirely and go for, like, compassion. It gives a lot of flat physical and tactical mitigation instead. Or charity if you need more physical mitigation. It gives a lot. So again, those are all, there's like 4 or 5 defensive ones, okay? So now you kind of know, but what am I going to do? What is Zollin going to do to level my guy up right now? Well, what I'm going to do to level up my virtues is I am going to go for a DPS build to start with, because I will most likely be going red line with my Valar group. So I'm going to be leveling up wit, I'm going to be leveling up confidence, I'm going to do wisdom, and then I think for the other two, I think I'm going to stick with just the defensive tolerance and fidelity. And then later on, I might level up one or two other ones, but for now, I'm not going to worry about that. But before I do that, I'm going to open my Valor of Virtue token coffer. Now that I've talked for over 10 minutes, like I said I wasn't going to, I should just never say that again. Okay, we're just going to do that in the future. I'm not going to say how long something's going to be. I'm just going to teach and talk. All right, right-click it. It's going to open up, contains tokens, so boom! So we got 30 greater Virtue of Valors, so that's 20,000 each, times 30, and then we also got 70,000 each, times 6 to use. This is what's the important part. You need to be learning the correct thing. See how I'm earning justice right now? Left-click on the thing you want to be earning. I want to be earning wit first, so I'm going to earn wit. I also recommend you have all of your things slotted, because when this maxes out, if you over the cap on experience, if you hover the blue bar, how much you need, you over the cap of 96, the excess will be put into the next virtue you have slotted. If not, it will choose a random virtue. That's why it's so important. That's why the quest says, make sure you're earning the right thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with doing a 70,000 on this one. Boom, we are half a level from maxed out on this. And if you notice, it now is giving me 15,000 finesse and almost 6,000 crit. Look how much it goes up with one more. Now it's giving me another 500 crit just for one more level. That's why it's important to max out your 5, because the stat is so much larger at the end of the virtue levels. Okay, just keep that in mind. All right. So if you noticed, it started throwing my next XP into, I think it threw it into wisdom. It threw it in the tolerance, because tolerance is the one at the front of my list, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to earning tolerance now. I'm going to click 20,000. I'll do a 70,000, and I'll do a 20,000. Do another 20,000, another 20,000. Boom, and it dropped the next chunk into fidelity. So I'll go over learn fidelity, and you'll notice my stats. Now this is giving me a 9,000 tactical mitigation, 3,000 physical, and 10,000 resistance. Right. This one's already giving me, see, this one at 67 is only giving me 2,000. Watch how much it goes up, okay, when I level it up. So it's at level 67 out of 96 for virtues, all right? Now it's giving me 9,300, right? That's a huge difference instead of 2,200, all right? So the stats go way up. So there we go. Now we've got that set up, all right, those two. So it should have dropped it into confidence. It did. So I'm going to go ahead and drop more into confidence until I max it out. It's close, and boom, maxed. Now it's going into wisdom. Now, if you notice, when I hit the end of wisdom here, you're going to notice immediately that it's going to randomly pick another one. That's okay, unless I can perfectly hit 96, which I doubt it. There, see, it picked it. It puts them into Valor randomly. So at this point, you could dump in the rest of your virtue experience you got. Look, we have another 17, another 2. Now, in reality, if you were level 1, you would have needed a bit more of these. You would only have a couple left. But I don't want to max out every single. Yes, it's good to get those passive bonuses, but they're not significant enough for me to want to waste all my stuff, because I have other characters I want to make sure are maxed when the expansion comes out and it goes past 96. So I'm going to be saving these personally. Now, if you're already at the 160 cap and you've done this, that's up to you what you want to do. If you have only one character, you want to max out and get all those passive bonuses, go for it. But if you hover here and you notice, my level 96 wisdom is only giving me 900 tactical and physical mastery rating. That is nothing. The passive bonuses are kind of garbage. So don't waste all your virtue experience if you have more than one character. And later, I might go, I don't want to have fidelity. I want another damage dealing one. I want to use, you know, not Zeal's not going for a tactical class. That's a great one for a melee class, by the way. Let's say, I want to get agility and get more crit chance with determination. Then I'll come back and I'll level up determination with my excess virtues, and I can switch them depending on if I'm healing or if I need to have more defenses, right? So that's what I really highly recommend, and that's why I wanted to talk to you here at the end of this video, because I don't want you guys to waste your stuff. So I'm just going to save those. You notice here I actually have a bunch of other ones from other things I had too. So so now there's another one. These are the 150 item packages. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, I don't need to be here right now. I want to go to the last homely house to do my legendary items and put on my gear. So what we're going to do is I have a map to it. You might not have maps to, well, maybe I have a map to it. I thought I did. Uh-oh, I left it on a different character. Pretty awkward if I left it on another character. Maybe it's in my map carry-all. I do have a map carry-all. Let me double check. The maps. I could have probably paused while I was doing this. All right, pause the recording. There's a bound item to Zollin. Okay, so let me show you another way to get there in case you don't have the map already and you've just leveled up. Go to South Bree. All right, everyone's gonna be able to get to South Bree even if you're lower level. So go to South Bree. Now I'm gonna go to my kinship house just because I get there faster. I don't think I have a South Bree map. But if you're a low level, go to Southern Bree Horse Guy. All right, let's just show you where that is real quick. Loading. 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 I hate it when the bar's at 100%. It's just like, wait. Wait. You were trying to have a thought and you want to show him something? Wait. See, I should have just paused the recording. The moment I pause it, the moment I pause it, it'll go away. So there we go. So go to the Southern Bree, go to Bree Town, and go to the Stable Master at the end here, and he will let you be able to take a swift travel to Rivendell. And just so I'm going to do an extra step, just so you know, this is my kinship house, so I'm going to summon my Stealth Master, and instead of going straight to Rivendell like I could, I'm going to go to South Bree just to show you that what I'm showing you is correct. If you are a VIP or not a VIP subscriber, you should still be able to take a swift travel to Rivendell. Some swift travels are only for VIP. It's like a convenience thing for being a subscriber. But you should be able to go to Rivendell Stables. So take a swift travel to Rivendell Stables. They're going to give you this reindeer, apparently, and he'll take you there. It's an elk, but same thing. Though I think they just take the elk and they put reindeer horns on it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Elk. That's not the right song. All right, so now we'll go to this Stable Master right here. And you can walk straight across, or you can go over to the last homely house to make it even a little faster. There we go. You can take a normal one or a swift travel to the last homely house, which is across the valley. But I'm going to be lazy and spend silver to get there. Make it faster for the video here. I'll do a little teleport over there. Whoop, whoop. So, again, I hope this is helping you guys out. And if it is, again, if you're an hour and 54 minutes in the video and you're enjoying yourself, please throw a like on it. All right, so at this point, you're going to run up the last homely house to get to the room where the legendary items are. I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the legendary items, and then for fun at the end of the video, I'll let you see my other character jump to max level just for fun, and then we'll finish up. I'm not going to show you both level up processes because that would be kind of pointless. All right, so I am very excited though to get my red mini up. I used to play Red Lore Master and Red Mini back in the day. Those were like some of my favorite tactical classes if I wasn't tanking. Mainly I heal on my Runekeeper. So you go into this room right here. You saw where I walked. This is the archives, Tracery archives. So now that we're here, by the way, you can always buy a map from her. Also, if you do already have legendary items, you could just reforge them. All right? But here's a big but. Okay? If you have a legendary item that's very old, like this one from level 120, and you have these new boxes that are bound to your character, I kind of recommend you don't even worry about reforging. You just open the boxes because they will automatically, I believe, be max leveled. They might have to be reforged once, and then you won't have to reforge your legendary item like 3 times. They cost a bunch of gold, in-game gold. So use the convenience of the Valor boost because otherwise you're just going to waste the items anyway. Also, if you go here, you can go to the scrolls down here, and you can get these maps back to the library, which is kind of nice. But what we're going to do is we're going to open these other boxes that we have. So let's go ahead and start with opening the Valor items pack. So I'm going to open that. You notice we got 25 mithril coins out of it, which was nice. Those are to kind of help you get around real quick to learn Stable Masters. That's why they give you 25 mithril coins. You don't have to spend it on that, but I'm just letting you know that's why they give it to you. Also, I'm a silly dork. I should have opened it ahead because guess what? Maps of Tracery Archives Rivendell map. They literally gave me the map. They also give you a bunch of maps to teleport around the world, which I recommend going through and using all of the maps and then grabbing the Stable Masters that you get near with those maps. That's kind of what they do to help you get you around the world. So try it. You get the map to Rivendell, a map to Dale Lands, a map to Eastfold, a map to the Scoff, and I can show you some of the spots. A map to the Western Wastes. In fact, I might do some of that in this video right now. And then you also get some rejuvenation potions, which, by the way, these are the good ones. So you may want to hang on to these for doing raids. Those are good ones. They also give you some actually decent food, which are these blue ones. So recommend holding on to those as well. The purple ones are fine. They're kind of, you can use them whenever. The purple version. And they give you some Dale rations as well. And they also give you the Steed, which we definitely didn't have before. Steed of the Citadel. It looks like they give you a cosmetic steed, which I believe that comes with the Valor boost. And it says my character already has it, but this one's bound to account. You know what that means, guys, right? Everybody knows what that means. That's going to go in there for an alt, so he can get that cool steed. So I'm going to drop that in my shared storage so he can get the cool steed. I'm going to drop the writing skill in there for later in case one of my characters needs it, but I don't think they'll ever need it, but yours might. And again, the WarSteed is bound to Xylan. I already have it, so I'm going to just drag and drop this off. You know what I forgot? I forgot to check out the camel on the WarSteed for the other things. I might have to do a little, like, comment. I'll do it at the end over here. For the oh man, I can't believe I forgot that. I'm glad I just remembered that right now. I would have felt so bad. So anyway, there's a bunch of cool stuff here. Oh, they also give you a universal toolkit, which is bound to account. So if your character happens to already have a universal toolkit, drop it in your shared storage for an alt because those are fantastic. So that also comes with the Valor thing. All right, so now that you know that, they also give you a huge pile of gold scraps. They give you 12 gold, help you get around if you're a brand new character. Again, bunch of cool stuff that they just kind of throw there, help you. Don't get rid of any of it. Just use it to travel around, get those Stable Master locations, things like that. You know, this whole video I realized I didn't turn on my little sign that says Voice of the Rings up here. Yeah, whatever. It usually is up there, but we don't need it for this video. All right, we're going to open Armor Pack. All right, so as you can see here, they drop you with a bunch of armor. This armor is called, usually has a name, but basically it's called Level Up Gear is what it is. It just gets you to that level. Now, I will tell you right now ahead, this stuff is kind of garbage. It's pretty much just to help you start basic doing delvings, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, you watch my health right here, my stats, okay? I've got 96,000 health. You can see my stats here. Watch how quickly they change when I put on all this gear that they just gave us. All right, I need to replace the Hero's Ring. All right, there we go. Good. Now the golden lion earring that I had equipped is now useless because I hit 150. It does have really good stats though, so I may actually use it just for the stats over these other level up earrings because it might be better. This is crit outgoing healing for tactical mastery evade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just switch that one. I'm going to leave the golden earring on. The shield is better, and it gave me a new instrument that has better ballad code damage, and I could put essences into it. So these always will give you the right gear for your class, by the way, which is kind of nice. So I just don't want to get rid of this other earring here, so I'm going to hang on to that one. I'll probably lock it. I always recommend just lock things ahead, because if you don't, it will be very sad for later. But the earring I don't need. I do not need this cloak, but I like to look at the cool cosmetic. Actually, it's kind of cool cosmetic. I might keep it. Heroes leggings 120. See, I think what happened is I might have done a Valor boost that a 121 I had from a long time ago. And on this guy, but that's okay. I wouldn't have used it on someone else anyway. No matter what, it saved me time. All right. I want to save that other earring. There we go. Okay, this 150 earring, I'm going to save that one just in case. I want to switch to it. And again, everything else here is 120. So this is what you can kind of do. You just go through and kind of get rid of stuff as we go. I mean, that's what I do. I like to be kind of efficient and organized as I do things. All right, so now that we've done that, we're set there, okay? Now what we want to do is we have all our gear on. You notice I went from having 96,000 HP to having 196,000 HP. So that's a big difference. You can see my stats have gone way up. And you can hover some stuff. You see my crit rating, 21%. It's pretty good, actually. Finesse, it's okay. Tactical mastery is really pretty darn low. That's all right. Honestly, these stats are not terrible, though, for being the level up gear. It's pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open the Valor Weapons Pack 150. So this is going to give you 3 boxes. They're all going to be bound to Zollin. This is why I was saying, baby, don't waste your time with your older LIs. Okay, so I'm going to go and just take mine off for now. I think I'll end up either keeping them for cosmetics or just destroying them, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and open the first 2 are set up. So let's open the legendary item box. Okay, this one. This lets you choose one, but I believe let's hover the other one and open it first. All right, so they give you a ton of enhancement runes, all at level 50. So this is fantastic. You can really set up your LIs. I am not going to do this on video here to set them all up. I have a guide video doing this in detail. My voice is getting hoarse. I've been talking for 2 hours straight with this recording. So I'm going to just show you that, again, this is what you get. Go in here, find your, basically you're going to choose your weapon. So these are going to choose what trait tree you want for these, either the red line or the blue line, resolve or the ward Scarhold, which again, you go into your traits, you can see here, there's really only a red line and a blue line, and the yellow line assists the other 2 trees. That's how minstrels work. Protector of Song is a assist tree to the other resolve and warrior trees. Now this one here, the legendary item box, basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to choose your legendary item. I'm going to explain this real quickly. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose. These are all going to be for a minstrel, and you can use all of them because you can see none of them have red. If you were choosing from her, you'd have to make sure you can use that weapon. Like you can't use a spear as a dwarf minstrel, but you can use all these. Now, in theory, if you go to your character here, all right, and you go to this middle one on the trait spot, dwarves technically get a dwarf axe bonus damage, which means if I have that on, which I don't, because most of the time I'm never using my weapon to hit with, it will give a 5% bonus damage. This matters if you are a physical dealing class. If you're like, you know, an archer, or if you are, again, that usually is relevant. It's usually the physical ones. So like if you're a dwarf champion, you're probably going to want to use axes, because that extra 5% bonus damage from the race is actually a lot of bonus damage. But for a minstrel, the only thing our weapon does is tell us what kind of damage our magic does with our ballads. Okay, so if you hover the ballad, you can see here, well, actually, no, they're just light damage. I don't think it even matters with the minstrel. This matters sometimes with other classes. It will change your magical damage based on what this is. But No, I don't. No, it doesn't. I take that back. It doesn't. It just changes the kind of physical damage you're doing. So again, this is really only relevant if you are a physical class. So again, if you're a champion or a warden or a brawler or a, choose the correct weapon. This will always give you the correct weapons to choose from. And you're going to need to choose one weapon, one pocket side weapon, and you're going to need to pick your bridle for your horse. Okay? They gave you all three to use. So the first box you open, you get all this stuff to build your legendary. And this, remember, they gave us one extra legendary box. That's just so you can grab your horse bridle. That's all that's for. And then the other box will open with a bunch of other stuff and another legendary item. So again, for a minstrel, what do I like the look of? I don't really need to get a dwarven axe. And in fact, I just realized they don't even have the option of a dwarven axe here as options. So I kind of just going to choose what looks cool because they're pretty much all identical. You can hover them. Like this one has a chance to lower their attack speed for a second. But again, you're rarely ever going to be using your melee as a minstrel DPS. It's going to be so rare. And all of your abilities just do light damage. They're not really going to be... You really have one ability, your dissonance thing. And that is also light damage. So it's like... Choose what you think looks cool. Honestly, if you're a mage class. That's kind of cool. This sword is... I like the sword. I think I'm just going to go with the sword. Actually, the Minstrel's Club is pretty cool looking, too. It actually looks really cool. I didn't realize how pretty the club looked. It's got, like, gems inset in it. This one's, like, just violent. Just, like, going to smack people over the head with that mace. A dagger. And the sword. The sword is... It's a pretty legendary sword. Again, another important thing to think about when you're getting these... is cosmetic reasons. You do have to have the correct cosmetic item to replace. So for example, if you want to use a cosmetic sword, you need to have a cosmetic sword, or it doesn't always work. Sometimes single hands, you could have a club and it'll let you do a cosmetic sword, but it won't let you do it if it's two-handed, and that's where it's kind of more risky. So if you have a cosmetic item you really like the look of, a weapon, I have a sword that's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and just pick the sword. All right, so that's how I'm going to do it. Now, again, I'm going to open this other one, and I'm going to pick my bridle real quick. So for my class, so what I need to do is I need to open my war mount, which my war mount is Shift M, and I just need to see what kind of war mount I use. I actually guess I haven't even chosen what war mount. I believe you want to probably be, if I'm a minstrel, I'd probably want to be a light war mount. That would make the most sense. And if we actually look at the legendary items, you can kind of see what they do. Agility. It doesn't really matter though, because the war mounts are kind of like irrelevant. You just want to have the right level, and these are on level 100 because they cap at 100. So it's like, I guess if I wanted to be a big mount, can I be a big mount? Can I just be a big, strong, giant mount for fun? Looks like I can. All right, so there. I chose to be a heavy mount, which is probably not the right pick, but that's okay. I'm going to choose the heavy bridle. All right, and now the heavy bridle, I'm going to take the older one here, which actually, by the way, they're the same. I didn't even need to choose it. I guess I could. Oh, well, it's a medium bridle though. Let's see. Well, let me put the heavy bridle on. Let's just for science, it does. Okay, because I chose to go heavy. So I guess it's a medium bridle. I'll hold on to it for another, because I switch up or something. That's really not that important, really. But just so you have to think about it. I'm getting distracted. I can see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open the other legendary box. It's going to give a bunch more stuff. It's going to give more Umbar, more of the other things. Just find the legendary item box, whichever that. I'm just going to type legendary. There it is. And now this one, you're going to want to get the minstrel book or the sidearm of whatever. If you're a guardian, it's going to be a belt. If it's runekeeper, it's your satchel. If you're a captain, it's the emblem, I believe. And there's the champions have some kind of emblem thing they hold. And again, you just go through. So make sure it's not a weapon. Make sure it's whatever the offhand is. You can always kind of know by going to your character and kind of hovering the spot. And it says class item. And then you'll kind of know, if you hover this, it'll say class item, okay? If it says one-handed weapon, two-handed weapon, whatever, bow, whatever, that's a weapon. You only get one of those on every class. Whatever says class item, that's the other one you pick. So this one says class item. You can see right there in white, right above it, class item. So now if you notice, if I put these two on, they're already a lot higher level. So if I hover the last ones, they were item level, let's see, they were item level 365. The ones I just took out of the box are item level 530. I know item levels are different than regular levels, just like virtue XP levels are different than regular levels. I know it's a little confusing, but just keep that in mind. Now, if you go in here, you can see it wants me to reforge my older ones. I do not want to do that. But as you can see here, I do not have to reforge the other ones because they're already maxed out. So that is why I recommend using the things. Don't try to reforge the ones you already have because you're going to already replace all of the things inside it anyway, which will be in my guide video that you can go watch. And again, for us in Minstrels, you're going to be looking for wherever it says The Minstrel, if you are playing a Minstrel, which I am not going to show in this video because I think that'll be too much in this one video. And I have a whole guide on this subject on legendary items that I worked very hard on that you can go watch. Because this is like another 45 to an hour conversation. Setting up legendary items are very confusing, but once you know it and know how to do it, it's not hard anymore. But you do have to really be awake. You need to think about it. So don't do it when you're tired because you'll make mistakes and you'll be very sad. There's the Minstrel up there. And this is where you'll get your... There are a few different things. I'll give you a quick run over. Run over with the van. You got your heraldries. These are your words of mastery. That's what these are called. Words of mastery. Words of power are from this guy right here. You get 2 on your main, 3 on your offhand for words of power. Heraldries you get from this person or crafted later. Okay? You get 1 on each legendary item. And then your words of craft are from this spot. You get 2 on every legendary item. The only difference is there's 3 on for the words of power. You cannot have crossovers of the same things, except for on heraldries and words of craft. Words of power all have to be unique. Words of mastery all have to be unique. If you cannot put on one of your legendaries, or it says there's a problem when you drop it, I talk about that in the legendary item video. It's because you were trying to put the same word of power and the same word of mastery on one legendary you already have on the other. All right, that's why I do kind of recommend to keep them both in slotted. Don't do them in your inventory and then slot them, because if you make a mistake, it won't warn you then like, oh, you already have it on the other one. Okay. All right, so again, I'm not going to show you all the details of how to set up your legendaries, but pretty much I got a 150 mini now. Sweet. Go. I'll link my guide video on legendary items if you want to know about that for the next step. I am going to quickly jump over and show you the level up on my Bjorning for fun, just to see him hit the 150 from 30. It'll be fun to see. And then also, I want to show you the camel on the WarSteed. I want to see how that looks real fast. All right, ready? Baruch! Kazad! All right, guys, one other thing here, jumped at the very end. Timestamp it way after I forgot about it. I'm so glad I did for stop recording. The WarSteed cosmetics. So here is the WarSteed with the cosmetics from both. You do not get to be a camel. You put it on the horse. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew what it looked like. Do I get a... So basically it is the Vigil. So you get 5 pieces. We apply that. And now we're going to summon a horse. All right, and this is real quick what it looks like on the horse. So it's the same stuff that's on the camel, but it's on the horse. All right, so real quick look at it. Actually, it looks pretty legit on the horse. This is a large WarSteed, so I'm pretty big. But here's the WarSteed kind of doing a full-out run. So it's cool that this gear can be used on your WarSteed. So it's the same stuff that's on the camel, basically. Oh. Come on. Do a little trot for us. So there it is on the WarSteed for the set. I can't believe I almost forgot to show you guys this. And then if we bring up the WarSteed one more time, appearances, we're going to look at the Lion set. Alright, we'll apply that. We will resummon Mr. WarSteed. And here's the Lion set, which actually looks really cool on the horse. Now, that's kind of covering the horse's eyes slightly, but I mean, it doesn't need to see that much right out the front. Just got to see out the back and see its master, right? A lot of WarSteeds did have a lot of blocking and protecting their eyes. But yeah, there it is. Cool. Looks really nice, actually, on the WarSteed compared to being on the camel. This is pretty legit. All right, well, I'm glad I remembered to show you that real quick for our last trick here. Looks like all the other animations are kind of the same here. The last thing we're going to do for fun is we're going to do a level boom on my other class. So here we go. Baruch Kazad. All right, so I'm over here hemming and hawing who I want to use my boost on here. So it's either between my champion or my Bjorning. And I really want to, I really like champions. I want to be able to play a high level champion, but I think it'd be easier for me to get my champion to max level than my level 30 Bjorning. So I think it'll save me time. So I think we're going to go with the Bjorning. Yeah. I think we're going to go with Mr. Bjorning here, Mr. Zoltaran. Also, my champion's in a good spot to play with a couple of our kinship groups that have been doing slow leveling later on. So I think I want to keep my champion where he is for now. I think my Bjorning is the one I want to do the super level up on. So this is just like a little fun ending to this video, this very long video, and it was very I really enjoyed making it for you guys, but it's a lot of work to keep these lights on my face for 2.5 hours and talk for 2.5 hours straight with all this information. So I hope that it came across well and helpful for you to help choose if you want to get it for cosmetics and for the bonuses you get for and then also talking about using the Valor boosts, which again is a lot of extra information. And like I said, I will have the stuff down there in the bottom to help you out as well. But we're going to go ahead and do a little level up boom here with our guy once everything loads in. So I am level 30 right now on this Bjorning. What is my main look here? Oh my gosh, what's going on with his face? It's like not loading right. Look at his face. It's crazy. Oh, there it goes. All right. So this is my actual gear I'm wearing right here. Looks kind of cool, actually. I like the regular gear. The classic level 1 Bjorning look right there. All right, so Mr. Bjorning here, who has terrible level 20 gear at level 30, and his virtues are like literally non-existent. Like literally non-existent. Now, the thing is, when I level this guy up right now, I'll have to figure out if I want to dump in my virtue experience to him immediately to get him at max. I'm going to probably wait till the expansion actually comes out and decide on which character. I want to see how much virtue experience I need to max out the 5 on my main like 3 or 4 characters. Then I'll decide if I want to come over here and give him virtue experience. But until that time, he is going to go and use the thing, which I'm glad I have a spot here because he doesn't have the... There it is. All right. So we'll be opening. This is what the regular level boost gives you. This is the regular one. So if you bought the level 41, sorry, the $40, just the regular expansion, $40, this is the one you get. So let's see what it gives us when I open it. All right. So we get the level, the armored level, the weaponries, we get the riding trait, and we get the level up. We do not get virtue experience at all from this one. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You will get virtue experience with the Ultimate Edition, not only from the Ultimate Edition's resources, Expedient resources or whatever it was, Ultimate resources. You also get a ton from the Valor boost. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But here we go. You guys ever seen a level 30 hit level 150 in 2.3 seconds? It's like 0.23 seconds. All right, boom. All right, let's go ahead and look real quick what we got from a level 30 going all the way up. So you can see we got an absolutely crazy amount of stuff. Crazy amount of stuff. New titles have been stood upon you. That is the other ones. You know what I also forgot? I forgot to tell you guys about the titles. So we'll say that right here at the end. Well, I said it at the very beginning, didn't I? I don't need to show you the titles. I said you at the very beginning of the video. So there you go. There's all the stuff I got. Well preserved. A bunch of the different quests are finished. Other things. It gives a lot. Bunch of passive skills. Yeah, so there's what happens when you do a level 30 to 150 boost. There it is. Just kapow. Kapow. All of that information. You can pause if you really want to read it if you're curious. All right. Well, Not on max level. Apparently they gave me some lovely black barreled bread and lump of butter and a letter to start one of the quests. So they do that. They give you a bunch of quests to start. Also, this is going to pop up on your screen. Now, you do not have to accept all of these. From what I remember is every single time you log in, these will pop up. It's really up to you. I only have so many character slots on this. Quest slots on this guy. I don't know if I want to have all. I'm just going to wait to pick all these up. Because again, these are all these. Basically, why this happens is every time you hit a certain level, you'll get a quest that pops up and says, hey, we need your help at this location. But if you jump immediately from level 30 to 150, you're going to immediately have all of the different level locations. Which, by the way, could be kind of convenient to look through and see, okay, this is level 85. You can kind of go through and actually, like, find out all the different things, different level spots. Now, I'm declining these. I hope that they will pop back up in the future. Just decline those two. Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. We also got some LOTRO points for completing deeds. You can see we have some other things. I need to get my racial bonuses done. I haven't done on this guy. Virtues, well preserved. Curious, why would you? Quite respectable. Yeah, so we got the skirmish thing we can now use. It opened up all those deeds. I get a bunch of quests that pop up in my bunch of mail, and all of these will give you a quest item or different items you can use to get cool stuff. Again, it's all the different levels. They make sure if you level up that you get everything you normally would at every level. You know, with quests that pop up, things that pop in your mail at a certain level from random NPCs or stuff, things like that, right? So now you can see, though, I'm at 77,000. Pretty much this guy is a total noob. I got a bunch of points to use now, which is nice. But I'll have fun with him later, and then I will, again, of course, do my level up gear and my legendary. Let's see what happens when I open the level up gear just to make sure. Some enhancement runes is kind of cool. Writing I won't need, but again, it's bound to account. So if you had a character that needed writing later, maybe send it to them, because this guy already had it. Level armor pack. So there is our armor, so I can just kind of go through, put on my level up armor. Now, again, level up armor is quite bad, but it is much, much, much better than level 30 armor. So it is nice they give you this, because it would be really annoying to Valor boost or level up like this and then not have anything. That would be really annoying. So I appreciate that they do that at all, really. Now, all right, so there we go. So now I'm at 174,000 instead of, what was it, like 15,000? I didn't even remember what I saw. And then if I open the legendary items, you will get some generic sidearms because you're a Bjorning. So it's like, oh, choose your sidearm. Well, I'll probably choose this level up club. It gives some tactical mitts, so I'll use that as my sidearm. And then it gives me a better bow. I'll put that on. And then, of course, I won't need the other sidearms because I only need one sidearm as a Bjorning and a bow. And then I'll open up my legendary items. We got a legendary item box. So we'll choose one. Now, racial abilities. Once again, we can think about this. What racial ability do Bjorning get? We get axe damage and club damage, which seems like cheating that they get both. But Bjorning, so this is where it comes in. Are you going to use a two-handed weapon as a Bjorning or a one-handed? Now, it's a little bit of a trick question, as in if you were, again, if you had the Valor boost, remember how it gave us a third legendary item? Well, you could forget the bridle and you could get a two-handed weapon and you could get a single-handed weapon and then get your pocket item. Or if you wanted to get a single-handed weapon or a two-handed weapon and get two pocket items to switch between two different trees, right? You decide. I kind of want to go with a two-handed weapon, but I'm pretty sure for endgame, sometimes those extra stats you get on an offhand weapon can be really good. And Bjornings, I don't think you're doing a whole lot of damage with their weapon. You're really doing most of your damage in your bear form. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I haven't made my guy video yet on Bjorning. But in the future, I will have one. Once I talk to some of our Bjorning mates. But I think I'm just going to take this flipping cool battle axe. What? I think it's so cool. So I'm going to take that. Oh, man, that thing is cool. Look at how cool that thing looks. Let's put it on. Oh, look at that thing. That's so cool. So now I kind of want to dual wield axes. I'm kind of curious. What does this other axe look like? It's kind of dumb, the other axe. Maybe I'll just keep the daggers kind of. I'll get a different one. I did get a different... Maybe I'll use the axe and get a different cosmetic later. This is parry and crit. I just like that bit, but maybe I will switch to the axe just to be able to do... I can get another cosmetic axe. Oh, actually, I just realized cosmetically, I might be able to just put them both on. Hold on. Why won't it let me equip that there? Do I have to do it on my bow? Hold on. Oh, there has to be a shield on... Wait, you can't do the... I was thinking you could do a cosmetic axe. Am I just totally drawing a blank? See, I'm getting way too tired in this video. I need to stop. Where the quality of the video is dropping. Because I'm getting confused. I thought you could cosmetically drop an axe in the place of the shield. But maybe I need to have it off? Item can only be equipped by a chosen slot. Oh, okay. So something to do with the LI. The LI can't be... Okay. It's something to do with because of the legendary item. That's why. So if I got another cool battle axe like this one, can I put this one, my old one, as that? Ah, there we go. Okay, sweet. Now I'm happy. All right, it's because it's a legendary item. Got it. All right, well, I'm glad my brain doesn't feel crazy now. That is some finagling you have to do sometimes. So you got your tracers you can choose for your clothes. Oh, and it just automatically gave them to me. Your level 150 traceries. Used to receive. Now, what I remember is it just gives you everything. Yeah, it just gives you all of it. Here's the words of power, the words of mastery, the words of craft, and she gave there's the heraldry. So you kind of get all of them right there. And then I'm going to also pick my little Bjorning carving as my other ally and put that in my inventory, and I'll do the rest later. But here it is, my friends. Anyway, have a great day in Middle-earth. This is the real finishing of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thanks, Elrander, for being a Zollin's company, and Red for being a Royal Guardian. Appreciate that support. My Patrons. I do the channel full-time. So again, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Check out my other guides. You can join us on Discord, and I'm also on Twitch, and I'm on Facebook and X and all the other stuff. It's all down there. You can follow. And again, join our Discord if you like. We play on the server Glamdring. Subscribe. Check out the next videos that pop up over there if you want to. If you're crazy enough to watch after 2 hours of content. But again, I hope you did enjoy this. And I am your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, as always, at your service and your families. Stay happy, my friends. And again, I hope this was a helpful and fun video for you. I enjoyed making it. And very exciting. It's very cool. I have 2 more 150s now. Some cool stuff ready for the Kindoms of Harad. See you soon.